Hello there, and welcome back.
What is this place?
Disconnected.
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 Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
I'm starting to feel disconnected.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another live Thursday Night Reconnected. This week with somebody that I have loved for quite some time, who is a frequent collaborator of mine that you have probably seen the name multiple times and maybe not a face. Tonight, Miss Rachel Bellwoar here. Rachel, welcome. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's very great to be here.
It's a long time coming. For those that don't know the name, Rachel writes for the Physical Media Advocate literally every issue. I think since you started, you haven't missed one, right? I think.
Yeah. I didn't get like the beginning, but like as soon as I learned about it, I reached out and yeah.
Rachel's ongoing column is usually a happy birthday column where somebody that is celebrating a birthday that month, she highlights a release that she wants to see on physical media from them, one that has a good release, and just talks about the usually it's a film star. I think it's a really special approach that kind of crosses film and physical media into a way that I love. It's the exact sort of thing I want in the magazine. So thanks for doing it.
Thank you. It's been fun. It was inspired kind of the first website I ever wrote for, which unfortunately they no longer exist, but it was called That's Not Current. And I had a column that was buried credits. So I would specifically look at pick a favorite actor and what is on IMDb that I haven't seen, or like the ones that have really low ratings because no one's seen it. And I would focus on those instead of the popular films.
Yeah.
So it was like actor based, and then that's inspired the birthday idea. And yeah, it's kind of built from there.
Well, and, talking about the first place that you wrote for everybody that is on YouTube, check it out. There is a link in the description to Rachel's WordPress site with the list of all of these things that you've contributed to. And take us through some of these. Where have you written for before so they can look for you?
Well, the first place was, like I said, That's Not Current, which my friend, Kieran Fisher, who he's a writer too, he was the editor-in-chief there. And also Flickering Mist gave me a chance. Gary Collinson, I want to credit them because they were the first ones that took a chance on me. Now I currently write for Comic-Con. That's the regular place, which has kind of, I'm going to diss the name because it just confuses people because they always think it's related to San Diego Comic-Con. And it's one word. It's COMICON. It has nothing to do with that, even though, comics is a lot of the articles, but it's also just pop culture in general. I focus on either physical media releases usually. So yeah, the name is just general. But it's a great site. Only the name I have issues with, because everyone always says, oh, the big Comic-Con. It's like, no, nothing to do with that. And yeah, that's the main place I wrote. And of course the Physical Media Advocate. I like doing that every month. And Cinema of the 70s and Cinema of the 80s magazine, they no longer exist too, but they were really cool for a while. And Radiance let me do one of their Dirty Art House magazines. That was like a real big coup that thanks to Kat Ellinger. And those are the main bylines. But this is my first live. Yeah.
First live show, and you're trying to branch out into podcasts. You just did another podcast recently.
Yes,
Tell us
Jim
about that
Lukowski's where I got to talk about Jack Clayton, which was a really awesome time. I highly recommend it. The Directors podcast, or Directors Club podcast. Get the name right. But yeah, that was really awesome. So yeah, I was always nervous to talk. So I've been trying to get myself to do that now. So hello everyone.
The Directors Club podcast episode was great, so don't be afraid. We all want to hear more from Rachel. The other thing, for those that have been keeping up with the Shelf Shock Rewind Awards, you've been able to participate in that as well. Yeah. So thanks for doing that. Man, so much to cover tonight. We got lots of announcements. I thought that we were going to have a sort of down week, and compared to the last 2 weeks, it's down. But this week of the month is usually like 40-ish releases. We still have almost 70, so we still got a lot to talk about tonight. But other than that, there is a lot of buzz right now. One thing to cover in the physical media world that I didn't post about: Best Buy suddenly started listing physical media again on their website,
Really?
and
I hadn't heard that.
it is not as it seems. And I'm not going to go
Okay.
out and make a big video like some of these other YouTubers and cover this, because it's literally just third-party sellers. Best Buy isn't selling them themselves. They're just
And
basically
nothing in
hosting.
store.
Nope, nothing in store. Literally just online. There are some potential opportunities. They could, theoretically lower prices and do some things to try to maybe compete with Amazon, but it's literally like alliance distribution, and stuff like that you can
Okay.
already buy it on eBay and stuff. But yeah, just want to throw that out there to acknowledge that if anybody's looking for that, I didn't cover it for a reason. It's not as big of a deal as it sounds like. It is a step in the right direction, I guess. More retailers doing it is nice, but it's not the same thing. The world is still a less physical world than it was just a few years ago.
That's why I always appreciate Barnes & Noble. Like, they're the one... I mean, of course, littler shops, there's some great ones, not in my area, but there's some great, like, Scarecrow Radio. I always see you post about them. But in my area, it's like Barnes & Noble is the one place that I can still go, and they'll have the Criterions, they'll have the Arrows occasionally, and so yeah, I always
stocking Radiance a lot now too. Speaking of Radiance,
I haven't gotten to see that as much in my shop, but yeah, I heard that they're having the sales.
I think it was the last time I went with KB Loves Movies and Nathan Jones to Barnes & Noble together. We even found some Indicators in person, which I think it's the first time I've ever seen Indicator releases in a physical store, which was really nice to see.
Well, I remember they had a sale, like, I think it was around the same time as the Criterion one, so I saw that they were selling them, but that's cool. I like that step.
We've had multiple people ask what is on your shirt tonight, Rachel.
Christine.
Nice.
One of my favorite Stephen Kings. Yeah, because I'm trying to get into the spooky spirit. It's coming around the corner, so get it.
Finally.
Yeah. It's a good time of year, or at least you can get in the mindset of it being a good time of year.
Yeah. The actual mindset is maybe not as simple to get into. Let's get into some more about you. You in the magazine, you cover a lot of classic film. Is that primarily what you find yourself watching and into these days? Yeah,
I mean, I try to watch a little bit of everything, but I think my interests tend to lie on, like, where they say, like, the focus is 80s and later. Mine's the opposite. 80s and earlier. It's just what I grew up on was Humphrey Bogart films, Judy Garland films, and it just now there's more accessibility to different films. So yeah, I basically dabble in everything. I like genre films, like anything that has a twist. Musicals and westerns are probably the favorite, and where I have like the most leeway. Like, it can be a bad western, and I will probably watch it. Versus like a noir, I'm more picky. I like noirs, but I'm more picky about it making sense or the plot.
Yeah.
But yeah, westerns, musicals, melodramas, horror, hence Christine. Yeah, basically any genre, anything that has a little bit of a supernatural spin, I adore, and yeah, tends to run older than the newer theatrical stuff.
And that's why it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about what we've been watching recently, because that's seemingly what I can talk about. So, I've got a lot of that to cover. What about you? What have you been watching recently?
Well, I have the Criterion channel right now. So I actually just started watching the Ripley films for the first time. Like,
nice.
Purple, whatever the Alain Delon one is. The Matt Damon one, where the incredible Miss Ripley. I wrote some of them down so I would remember. The John Malkovich one, I think that was my favorite. Nice. And yeah, I'd never watched them, but then I kind of ended up inadvertently getting into a Patricia Highsmith marathon. I watched Strangers on a Train. I read this really awesome book that's coming out in September. I got to read it early. That's on Strangers on a Train. And then it led into Ripley. I actually haven't read one of her books yet, but I started watching every movie adaptations of her work. And yeah, so that's been a fun deep dive lately that I wasn't expecting to do.
One thing about Rachel, if you follow her on social media, I always appreciate at the end of the month when you post your favorite first time watches, and every single month it's always a highlight. It's nice to see you keeping up with that throughout the year.
Thank you. Ooh, and I did watch one cool thing. I did the Kickstarter for the new Hal Hartley film, and it just
Nice.
came in the mail today, or not today, yesterday. So I watched that because I got to get the Blu-ray. I think it's premiering in New York in September. But yes, I got to watch that, and this was really cool. I love this is the first time I have some of the Blu-rays. But I watched it, and I love that it had bonus features. I like that he puts them out himself instead of waiting for like a bigger label to release it. And yeah, it's got some of his regular cast members. It's really good, so I'd recommend that. It's called Where to Land, and I don't know. I know like it's starting in New York. I don't know what kind of theatrical release it's going to get, but I hope it gets a good one because his films are always awesome.
Is this one up on a site yet? Do you know?
I think it's just the Kickstarter awards people
So far, yeah.
got it. Yeah, so I'm not sure what the release beyond the premiere is, but
I'm sure it'll be on the site eventually. Yeah, I just checked. It's not here, but it'll be there eventually. All of his stuff ends up there, but it does go out of print. Like one of his box sets, one of the I think it's the Long Island trilogy goes for like $300.
I was so glad I picked that up one of the times it went on sale because I'm on the email list too, and it's like one time it went on sale, and I'm like, I should get that finally. And I was so glad when I saw. I didn't realize it could go out of print, and it's like, oh, I'm very glad I picked that up.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I'm glad that you got it. I unfortunately didn't.
Sorry.
Let's see. Anything else that you watched that you want to highlight?
Those were the main ones. I watched. I have a review. I don't know when it's going to be posted. But Indicators and Justice for All. I've been on a little bit of a. I read Al Pacino's memoir, so I've been watching some. And it was a rewatch, that one, but I really liked that movie. And he gets his whole speech at the end, which I don't think is as good as the Dog Day Afternoon speech. It feels like a copycat. Like, we have to have him shouting at the end. And you can't beat Attica, but it was I still think it's a really good movie. And Indicators Release is really good. It has a new commentary by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson, who I think they're fantastic. They also have one of my favorite commentaries on Fun City Edition's Marvin Caller, which was a great discovery. Like, I think last year I watched that. Very sad movie, but somehow very good. I like sometimes the really depressing ones. But anyway, back to Injustice for All. They did the commentary on that, and really good job. And then it also has a commentary with the director Norman Jewison, which is like a carryover. It was really good release if anyone's looking for that. It's Region 2, but it's really good, and my review is very positive.
Very nice. I'll run through mine real quick. For some reason, it was a crazy weekend. I've had a lot of family birthdays this month. I had my the first month was my wife's sister's birthday. The first weekend in August was my wife's sister's birthday. Second weekend was my youngest kid's birthday. Third weekend was my wife's birthday. This weekend is my brother's wife's birthday.
Okay.
I need a break, first of all, from all of that. But because of that, it was a weird time with theater screenings. And so I broke some of the things up. And somehow, over Friday, Saturday, Sunday this last weekend, I went to the theater 7 different times.
Really?
Yeah. So last Friday, my wife requested that we all, as a family, go see Freakier Friday together in the theater. And it's kind of a mess. I feel like they took all the jokes of the first one and said, let's do those, but sillier. And because of that, it was way too convoluted of a storyline.
Okay.
It was fun, I guess, in a very Disney Channel sort of way.
Okay.
But it was not, I don't know. I think they tried to go too much into the nostalgia, and it just didn't quite work for me as much as I wanted it to. But then it got a lot better from there. The next day I went to Shin Godzilla, saw that on the big screen for the first time. I never saw that at home or anything like that. So this was a big one. And I really liked this one. I think this was a really interesting interpretation of Godzilla. I love the way that he evolved throughout the movie. I really enjoy especially the Japanese aspects of Godzilla because it's much more politics focused and diplomacy and very much focused on government response to things rather than big monster scary time like a lot of the American adaptations are. And Yeah, this one was good. There's some things that are a little weird for me, like the way that Godzilla looks for the first 20 minutes of the movie is certainly a choice, but after that, it really goes into some fun territory. The effects are shockingly decent in a lot of these scenes, and the big thing is they go there. Certain people die, and you're just not ready for them to die, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess everybody's vulnerable, and it was nice. Yeah, loved seeing this on the big screen. Was a big deal. Had a great time. I truly appreciated it. But then Sunday was a wild one. I went to 5 films on Sunday in
In
a
a
couple
row?
different theaters. Yeah,
Okay.
in one day. Started the day with Jimmy and Stiggs. This is the newest Joe Vegas film.
Okay.
He's the guy that did Bliss. He's the guy that did a couple other films. But the big thing is this was a shout out to Vinegar Syndrome. They played part of Sex World in the film. There was also a very obvious Cauldron film sticker, and just a big appreciation for boutique physical media, which was nice.
Cool.
It's a very fluorescent and foul language type of film. If you can get past that, it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's some really great practical effects. There's one scene where they show somebody's face getting split in half. That first of all of this was done in Joe's apartment, so the fact that he did this scene the way that he did is astonishing. But it was really, really well done. I appreciated this film a lot more than I liked it, and yet it was still super entertaining. Although I can tell that a lot of people are going to hate this movie. It is very frenetic. It's very like yelly the entire time. It's just a couple dudes yelling the entire movie. And essentially it's a race to see who can say fuck more times than the other person.
Okay.
And the dialogue sucks, but it was still entertaining. It's interesting. Then after that, I went to a really fun screening of Americana, which I thought was going to be pretty bad. This is the newest Sydney Sweeney movie with Paul Walter Hauser and Halsey. And Halsey is the star of this movie. I don't really want to say much about this because it's kind of one of those movies where if you say anything, you're going to spoil very specific plot lines. It's not like twist heavy, but there are certain things that you're not going to see coming for this. Essentially, it's a crime thriller. Was quite happy with it. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. It was honestly pretty dang good. Then I saw The Knife, which is about a black family that is just moved into a new theater, and they are asleep in the middle of the night, and the father figure hears a noise downstairs and goes downstairs, and there is a woman in their kitchen that just broke in. And he says a couple words to her, and then the next scene essentially is her on the ground, essentially dead. We can't see if something happened, but we're put in a situation where it is Black America, and this guy is needing to call the police because there's a dead woman in his kitchen, and he doesn't know how to approach the situation. And while the cops are showing up, we have the wife figure in this house who goes and picks up a knife and puts it in this dead woman's hand to make it look like she was a threat, just so that they don't get in trouble. And unfortunately, that does lead to trouble for the family. I thought this one was pretty decent. The writing left a lot to be desired. There's a lot of things where you have to suspend belief quite a bit to see. Yeah, all 14 of these things are likely not going to happen in one night to this family, but to keep the drama up, it worked for the most part, and the very drama heavy aspect of here was palpable. Like, it definitely made you feel things, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Fourth one for Sunday is the remake of Witchboard, directed by Chuck Russell, who did The Mask and The Blob and Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And that leaves a lot of, man, I really want to like this. And unfortunately, it is fucking awful. This movie was so bad. The immediate things that are taking me out of movies in 2025 is CGI blood and CGI fire. It's really obvious when these things are happening.
I've seen
it just
that
makes your movie look cheap and terrible, and they really lean into it. That being said, the lead actress here is really great. She's got a really great scream for horror. She's pretty great at delivering lines. She's a decent actor. I really hope she does more, but Chuck Russell should have not been attached to this because it's really bad. Then ended the night with Nobody 2. Essentially, if you saw Nobody and liked it, you're going to love this one. It's really great set pieces for an interesting story like this. It's not anything new or special. But that being said, it's Nobody 2. It's an interesting time, and yeah, don't go to this expecting cinema with a capital C, but it is certainly a fun time at the movies.
Yeah.
That was a lot. Physical media. What have you been picking up lately?
What have I been picking up? I know this was controversial. I saw when you posted about the Chucky TV show recently. But I love the Chucky TV show, and I know I could have waited because they're coming out with the complete series set. But me and my friend Lucas, shout out to him, are going to be. He's never seen it. I have seen it. So ahead of Halloween, we're going to start watching a few episodes every week, and I love this show. I know you seem to have some haters in the comments, but I think it's fantastic. Especially, I love. I think I wrote about it because I got to write about Brad Dourif in I forget what issue number of the Physical Media Advocate, and I love season 2 because it's the first time they introduce a good Chucky, which I think is wild after so many movies and so much of the show that's the first time they tried to propose like you're going to believe it, like that there's going to possibly be a good Chucky. So I think season 2 is especially good, but the whole show is great. I wish it hadn't been canceled. So I've been wanting to pick it up, and yeah, the complete series, I wasn't sure how they were going to package it. I don't trust any more companies that try to do more than one disc. That's not like a box set where it's separate. So this, I knew it's 2 per case. It was a pretty safe bet, and it wasn't really monetarily that different to wait. So yeah, I got all 3 seasons of that. So I'm excited to watch that. And
nice.
I got the latest Bewitched from Indicator. Because this is I love Bewitched. It was one of my favorite shows. I watched it with my mom all the time, and so yeah, I've just been picking up these slowly. And along with that, I got a Factory Girl, which is a movie about Edie Sedgwick, starring Sienna Miller, and Guy Pearce plays Andy Warhol. And I caught it for the first time on Tubi, and I thought it was one of those ones I wasn't sure, but I really liked it. Guy Pearce makes Andy Warhol be a creep, and I think he might have been a talented creep maybe, but a creep. And I was also excited because it has a commentary by Elizabeth Purcell. I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name right, but she recently did the commentary on Severin's release of Motorpsycho, and I thought that was fantastic. So it just was like, I'm going to add that to my order. And yeah, I think this is an unexpectedly good movie. I read reviews. It didn't seem like a lot of people shared my opinion, but I liked it, and it has some other bonus features too, so I'm excited to go through that. And
nice.
To make myself feel guilty, these are the ones that I've gotten a few review copies, and I haven't gotten to them yet, and I want to, so now I will at least acknowledge their existence and that I want to write about them. I just haven't watched them yet. This one's coming out next week from Severin. It's Negatives. It's actually a double feature, and I'm excited about both movies. The first one stars what's her name? Glenda Jackson, who is fantastic, and the second one stars I know her name, Barbara Windsor, who was in the TV show, if anyone likes the British TV show Wurzel Gummidge, which stars the Third Doctor as a scarecrow, and it was a children's TV show, but it's got a lot of darkness, and it was from the 70s, and Barbara Windsor played a character in that, so I love her, and it has nothing to do with that, but just to put it in context, she's awesome, and that's the second feature, which is called Sparrows Can't Sing. I'm really excited for this. I think it's also going to have a commentary by Tim Lucas on the first film, and Daniel Kramer on the second, and I think it also is going to be one of the last bonus features we're going to get from the amazing Lee Gambin, so I'm really excited to go through this. And the last Severin film I really liked was Entertaining Mr. Sloan, which I also highly recommend because I think Severin is having a sale soon. So that was a pickup that I was like unsure about with the trailer, because it's like one of those 60s films that can just be like sex comedies that can just be kind of silly or just low humor. But I thought it was fantastic, more like one of like Elizabeth Taylor's 70s films where it's just wild and crazy, and I adored it. So I highly recommend that release too. But yeah, I want to write about this one. I will be writing about it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. The other one that I'm excited to is Criterion's release of Compensation, which is coming out next week, which I'd never heard of before. But it's about it's from the 1999, and they describe it. It has the deaf community, specifically the African American deaf community, and it's, I think, mostly, if not all, in black and white, but like 2 timeline story.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of this before. I'm really excited. I think it's a female director, and I can't wait to watch this one. And the other one is I made sure to switch the cover because I don't think the other one is friendly for the internet. But Mondo Macabro's recent release of the 2 Eva Man movies, I'm really excited to watch them, and also the commentary by. They're really great. They wrote a cool book recently too, but can't find their name right now on this. But it's got a cool commentary. I'm excited for it too. So those are the 3 that I will be writing about eventually. I just need to have time carved out, but I'm excited for that. How about you?
Time is not an easy thing to come by nowadays.
No, and I always like to, I always want to watch all the bonus features, and I always feel guilty if I skip one or if I don't read the booklet. So it's just the additional watching. I think each of these films has a commentary, so it's it's additional time, but I don't want to just cover the movie. I want to acknowledge what the critics are doing.
Imagine that. Imagine if everybody had that mindset. I would love that. Okay, so I've got a handful. These were mostly held up at the pre-order, which you're going to see what held it up, and we're going to joke about that, I'm sure. But a couple really, really new ones. This is Cult Epics. This is a Dutch film called Dakota that is coming out right now. I think it's coming out next week. I think we're going to talk about that at the end. This is the last Scorpio film directed by Wim Verstappen. This is supposed to be really great. I love a lot of the just off-the-wall stuff that Cult Epics does. Can't wait to check that out. But the big one that a lot of people, I'm not going to spend a good time on it because most people that are loving this kind of movie, you've already seen it. But this is the new Synapse release of The Deadly Spawn. It is one of these beautiful giant box sets with crazy digipack, poster, big booklet, really great art throughout this entire thing. And the best thing is that there's different art everywhere. And it's a movie that is very visual in nature. So when you're getting things that has all kinds of iconic art and scenes in it, the fact that we can highlight all of these is so fun and important and beautiful. Love that. But now the release that was holding everything up for me in this big package, this might be the most delayed box set that I've ever ordered. This has been delayed, I think, 6 times, something like that. This is the Brevito Giallo set from Cauldron Films that I think I pre-ordered this last November or it got announced last November and literally just showed up. And because I had ordered a couple of the other things with it, I also got Mad Fox's 4K from Cauldron, which I had the old European release of this one. Really stoked to upgrade that one because this did not look good on that Blu-ray release, unfortunately. And then the last one, this one I've not seen, but I've been excited to check out considering the way they described it on the website. And that is Cries and Shadows. This is, what is the subtitle? The Return of the Exorcist, which I am stoked to check out because I love Exorcist ripoffs, and this is supposedly a pretty decent one.
Is that a newer film or? No,
this is from. Do they have the 75?
Okay.
So yeah,
so
quite
really fresh ripoff. They were immediately grabbing on.
It's Italy. They never cared. Lots of great stuff coming in recently, and I dropped the poster. But this box set that held it up. I think Tyler's asking if it's sold out. I believe they are going to have a couple more of these, but they're getting everything shipped out before they put more of those back on the website. There's probably not going to be a ton of them left, considering they were available to pre-order for, I don't know, 8.5 months before they were shipping. So we'll see how many are left. But yeah, that's Cauldron, which I didn't got anything new from Cauldron in a long time because of that. So very happy to get that in.
Yeah. I don't think I've dabbled in Cauldron. I know of their releases and I love the cover art, but I don't think I've gotten a Cauldron one yet.
Well, speaking of that, what physical media companies are some of your favorites? We heard about the films that you like, so I could probably guess a couple of them. But which ones are like your diehard? I'm always interested in these.
Well, I love Warner Archive because I love a lot of their titles. I hate the pace sometimes that the titles get released, but then I also respect the quality of their releases. You're always going to get a crisp image. There's a reason their take so long. So I respect it, but also at the same time, it's like, it's so, actually, I mean, considering how many times there's been the false alarms that Warner Archive's dying, it's not going to release it anymore. It's actually been a very good year for them. I mean, they're being consistent. You're getting at least 6 releases a month. So actually, I really have nothing to complain about. But yeah, and I'm excited for like Huckleberry Hound coming out soon. That's like childhood nostalgia. I had like a Huckleberry Hound book that I loved, and I actually don't even know if I ever watched the show. I just had it in my head because I loved this book so much that I must have watched it. So I'm excited to dive into that. But yeah, I love Warner Archive. I love Imprint. I think they have some of the best packaging in the game. I love Indicator too. I love when they do like their Mexican horror films. Any release that they do with that, I think that's really cool because I feel like it's just all about availability and like having the subtitles. Like I think there's so many Mexican horror films that we don't know about that would become instant classics, but they're just whether they're in not good condition or they're just not available in English. So I just love that they're making motions on that. And yeah, I really love anything. And yeah, basically if it's a classic movie, I want to pick it up.
Yeah, I totally get that. Indicator, I really gotta give it to them because the consistency of the quality of their supplements are astonishing. And we're going to talk about one of their box sets tonight that got announced today, and the stuff that they've got on there. I mean, there's a short film on there directed by one of the directors in the box set that is a warning against venereal disease, and they're like, let's archive that with this box set. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I love the fact that we're putting this medical scare film on here just because it's the same director, because who else is going to put that out? Nobody. It's amazing. So tonight, after our announcements, we're covering a really fun topic. We're going to be talking about movie characters that we would love to steal the wardrobe from. I can't wait to dive into that because it was kind of difficult for me to choose because I didn't want them all to be the same. And with good dude fashion, that's kind of always the case. And so I feel like I made some good choices. Can't wait to cover those. I am stoked to share both of those choices, but I think it's decent time to get into some of these announcements. So let's do this. Second Sight. We knew this was coming, but we got some release details. So October 13th, we're getting a 4K and Blu-ray release of The Florida Project from 2017. This is the Sean Baker film starring Willem Dafoe, and it is coming in a deluxe 4K package and a standard 4K and standard Blu-ray package. So if you want the deluxe, you have to buy the 4K. But the big story here is it's Sean Baker. He loves physical media, so they went hard on the bonus features. We heard that this was happening, and this is a 3-disc set, a 4K disc, 2 Blu-ray discs. We got a new 4K master that was produced and approved by Sean himself. Over 4.5 hours of brand new bonus material. New commentary with Sean, the co-writer Chris, and the DP Alexis. We got a new commentary by Kat Ellinger, who we both have known and loved for many years, and Martin Caterio. We got a new interview with Sean. We got a new interview with Willem Dafoe. He sat down for an interview for Second Sight. New interview with some of the actors, the kids. We've got new interviews with the co-writer, the producers, lots of stuff on here. A new interview with Sammy Kwan, Sean's wife. New interview with the executive director of Community Hope Center, Reverend Mary Downey. New interview with the casting coordinator. There is a location video on this, shot in Florida, of course. There is, as always with these giant Second Sight releases, there is a hard box release. And then you get the book, which is 160 pages in a hardback book with new essays by Tim Coleman, Martin Caterio, Elena Lozic, Hannah McGill, Don Stronsky, and Nadine Whitney, plus some on-set photos. You also got the 8 collectors on-set photo art cards. There is so much in this. Have you seen The Florida Project?
I love The Florida Project. I am so excited for this release. I have not gone into 4K films. I feel like I'm happy with Blu-rays. I heard a lot of scratch issues for 4Ks. I'm good with Blu-ray, but I will definitely be getting the deluxe edition because I think the cover art's amazing. I think the bonus features are amazing. It was my first Sharon Baker film. I love that movie.
Oh, wow.
I love everything about it. I think Brooklyn Prince is amazing. I love her career. I actually got to do, she had a comic book series on Misfortune, I wrote down the title, Misfortune's Eyes. It's really fun little series. I got to interview her. It was through email, but for Comic-Con, and I think she is fantastic. She also really good on the TV show Home Before Dark, which is kind of like a younger version of Veronica Mars that was on Apple TV Plus, though nobody promoted it because Apple TV has great shows, but no one promotes it. But I think she's fantastic. And this was the first film I saw her in because I think that was her first film. I love everything about this. I will definitely be picking this up. I loved, when it was originally released, how I think it was Sean Baker's doing, but that had a Kat Ellinger commentary. I like that this is a new one that she's back to do it, talk about it again. And that was exciting at the time because with recent releases, you don't see film critics being brought on. And I thought that was exciting. And just everything about this. Yeah, I will definitely be picking this up. How about you?
Was Kat on the first release of this? I know she was on
I think that was what was so cool. I'm pretty sure she had a commentary, but it wasn't with Martin. So this would be a new one, but I'm pretty sure the A24 one, she was on it. Unless I'm
she was on Red Rocket. She was not on Florida Project.
Okay, so I made up facts. I knew it
just
happened. Okay, sorry about that. But yes, I knew it was a Sean Baker film. I just totally lied. But either way,
it's no big deal.
I'm glad about the continuity that she's back on this.
Yeah, I love this film. It's not my Sean Baker film, but that's like saying it's not my favorite child because they're all perfect. I completely love the vibe of this movie. It is very Sean Baker, and if you have seen any of his movies, you know exactly what that feels like. Kat is incredible. I am stoked that she's back on this. I love that he loves physical media so much that when he was going over the physical media release for Red Rocket, he said, you know what, A24, we have to hire Kat Ellinger to have her be a part of that. That's a quote baller move, and I love that it's happening. Yeah, good stuff. Love Sean. Yeah, amazing release. Can't wait to own this. And then this one, I was very, very happy to see this. They also announced that pretty soon they're going to be releasing a 4K release of The Ugly Stepsister, which came out this year. Have you had a chance to catch this one?
I have not. I've seen the trailer. I'm interested because I like the dark fairy tale, but I have not seen it yet, no. It's on Shudder, right, too?
I think it's on Shudder already.
Okay.
I saw it at Panic Fest here in Kansas City earlier this year. It was one of the U.S. premieres of it, and I adored this movie. I knew that Shudder was probably not going to give it a loving release like Second Sight clearly will.
Yeah.
This looks like an absolutely amazing release.
Awesome.
I love this movie. Please check it out. If you like anything dark fairy tale or body horror, which, by the way, really fun combination of those two things. Absolutely love this movie.
Yeah, anything I imagine with the slipper, there's a great opportunity there.
Well, and that's just one of like 8 awful scenes of cringe. But yes, lots of opportunities.
All right, I'll definitely add that to the Halloween viewing.
Nice. Well, speaking of beautiful films, Deaf Crocodile has up for pre-order now and shipping in September. Sirius from 1942. This is a romantic time travel film that is set in the 1940s, where a brash Hungarian playboy travels back 200 years with the mad scientist to the mid-18th century world of wigs and pompadours, where he falls in love with a penniless opera singer and makes enemies of all the aristocratic fools he encounters, including his own great-grandfather. This is, first of all, I have to point out, Deaf Crocodile, Craig loves art. I don't know that there are many releases that could even possibly compete with art as beautiful as this. This box set in the hand is going to be absolutely astonishing, and the back of it is just as good. The black and white art on this, I mean, I saw the art coming together because I saw some of the earlier iterations of it. It's just an amazing choice. The release here is going to be some really fascinating things. We got an ultra rare behind the scenes footage of this during production. So to have that on camera from 1942, amazing.
Yeah,
on top of that,
thought that'd be that's cool.
Right? New video interview with Georgi Raduli, who's the director of the NFI, who did the restoration on this. There is a new visual essay by somebody named Will Dodson and myself editing. That is I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. I hope people check it out. New commentary by Stephen R. Bissett, the incredible comic artist. We got new artwork by Beth Morris, of course, and the authoring, as usual, on the disc by Fidelity Emotion. New essay on the deluxe edition by Rolf Giesen, and then another new essay by Walt Shaw, who's always there. But the big story for me, this slipcase art on the big box is Richard Cox, and it's just magnificent. Serious. I'm sure most people have not seen this. Have you happened to have been able to catch this?
No, but I love what Def Crocodile does. Personal favorites are their Czech films so far. I'm hoping, like with I'm going to butcher the titles, but the Mysterious Carpathians and the Della Something Supper. And I know that's the trilogy, and I really want them to release the first one, which I think is a Western like parody. I love all their films. I love how it's basically a company that you will never know of any of these films beforehand. And I think that's the beauty of it. They really just are blind buys, and you just have to try them, and it's worth it. And they're stacked with features. Yeah, I love what they're doing, and this looks beautiful. Just the packaging's beautiful, and yeah, I would definitely be interested. But yeah, everything they do is just, I love a company that will do that.
This film is very... You could claim it's out of the wheelhouse of Def Crocodile because they have not done many romantic films. This is by far the most romantic film that they have done. This movie, any of the screenshots that you could take from this film is something that you could put up and everybody go, my God, that is beautiful. I would hang that on the wall, a beautiful tapestry. And it is shot with that in mind. It is gorgeous, has some great music, really funny dialogue in this. I truly think people will love this movie. Please check it out if you haven't.
I would love to, and time travel too. That you've had me sold with time travel. I will definitely be keeping an eye on that one.
Yeah, I think that this is going to surprise some people. It is ahead of its time, and that's not a pun on purpose, I promise. Let's keep going to our wonderful Warner Archive releases. These are all coming on Blu-ray on September 30th. We don't have any 4K releases. I think they've only said that they're going to be doing like maybe 3 or 4 a year. So I have a feeling before the end of the year, we're going to get an announcement for maybe one more. We've already had 2
because they just did the Michael Caine one, right? That was the most recent.
Yeah, in fact, I think that's like about to be shipping or just shipped this last week. So yeah, that is very, very recent. So I think last year when they did their first one, that was like a November announcement. So I'm guessing probably around then for the last one for the year. But this first one is with Walter Houston, and we got The Beast of the City from 1932. This has some classic cartoons on here. We got Goopy Gear and Bosco and Bruno. This is a brand new master from a 4K scan of the preservation elements that they have. I know nothing about this film or any of these other Warner Archive releases. This is going to be the Rachel show for a few minutes. Do you know about The Beast of the City?
I haven't seen this one. I have seen a lot of Harlow because at one time Criterion Channel did a collection of her films, and I love her. I looked up this movie. I'm not crazy. It sounds of the plot because it sounds a little bit like the cop who breaks the rules, but the moral is they should let him. And I haven't seen it, so maybe that's not. But it doesn't sound like a really lovely story, especially watching right now. It's like I don't really want that theme in my life. But then the Harlow aspect, I think she is fantastic. So I probably will pick it up eventually anyway, just because I want to see everything she does, and she's worth it every time. But yeah, I don't know this film. I really want them to put out her film Hold Your Man, I think it's called. It's with her and Clark Gable, and she's in a women's reformatory, and it has some really great female actresses in it playing the other members of the reformatory. If that would have been my top choice to get a Blu-ray, but more Harlow and Blu-ray is always good, but I don't know much about this particular one.
Good to know. Next up is a Laurence Olivier film from 1953, and that is The Beggar's Opera. This one, I don't even know that I'd heard of before this. This is also 4K scans of the original Technicolor negatives. Yeah, this sounds fascinating. This says in 1741 London, notorious highwayman Captain Macheath is in Newgate jail due to hang at dawn, but rope collars aren't the fashion for dashing, self-respecting ne'er-do-wells, and prison doors can swing both ways. Sounds exciting. Sounds like a classic Olivier. Yeah, anything speak to you on this one?
To tell you the truth, and I know it's kind of controversial, I'm not the biggest Olivier fan.
It's not controversial.
And
I don't love him either.
good, but not good. I know he's talented, and I know he did some great Shakespeare movies, but yeah, he's not my favorite. So this is not gonna. And then the opera part doesn't really make me any more sold on it. But I think it's cool that it's coming out. I hadn't heard of it before. I like when they do the deep cuts. I know some people get angry, like, why didn't you do the more popular title? But I just think it's cool that you can hold out, because there's always like that one film that they're never going to put out, but because Warner Archive does do the weird one sometimes, and I don't even know this is weird. I haven't seen it, but I think it's great that they're putting it out there. It's not immediately for me, but I'm glad it's coming.
I feel like Warner, and I really hope this is the case, because it certainly feels like this. I feel like they are prioritizing things where the negatives are in the worst shape, and they're just trying to get the bad ones out there first, basically, to prioritize the restoration work. So it's nice to see. Warner Archive really can't be praised enough. No other studios are putting out the amount of titles they are in this quality, because any of these, they look just astonishing. It's like they were restored yesterday with just the best elements, and you're like, how do you keep doing this? Like 6 in 1 month, and they all look amazing. Yeah. Ridiculous. All right, next up is probably the one that I'm most excited about this month. From 1974, Black Samson. This one is a 4K scan of the original camera negative. We've got no extras on this other than the trailer. But Rockney Tarkington, stars as the titular hero in this blaxploitation cult favorite. When white drug dealers try to move their operation to the hood, they do not plan on a local nightclub owner, a master of martial arts, known locally as Black Samson. Nefarious individuals try to make a deal with Samson, then they try to kill him. But when they beat up his girlfriend, the dealers go too far. Samson leads his pet lion and the people of his neighborhood in a war that drives the drug pushers out of Samson's piece of the hood. Yeah, if that doesn't scream, I need to see that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you alive? Because that sounds incredible. How about blaxploitation? Are you into much?
I do love blaxploitation films. I'm not as well versed in it, but if I've seen quite a few Pam Grier's ones. I love the idea of when they just throw random animals into movies, especially ferocious ones that probably shouldn't be in movies. I think that's great. I will definitely want to see that. I like the cover art. They know how to sell it. Put that line on the cover, and yeah, I think they could be a lot of fun. But no, I'm not familiar with this particular one.
I'm going to say put that line on the cover and put that line on the cover, because this catch line on the front, every brother's friend, every mother's enemy. That's amazing. Have to see it.
Yeah.
Next up, I Died 1,000 Times from 1955 with Jack Palance and Shelley Winters. Is this a Rachel movie?
Probably not, because I think it's basically a remake of High Sierra, and I wasn't a big fan of High Sierra. I do love Shelley Winters. I know her parts can get the same, just very usually. Her fate isn't usually good in movies. She tends to get hurt and mistreated, and probably this one's not going to be different in that sense. But yeah, slightly interested, but yeah, I've heard it's pretty scene by scene, pretty close remake of it, and so probably not. But yeah, Shelley Winters is great, so there's always that temptation to pick it up.
Right. This one, special features wise, they got classic cartoons, Hairbrush and Sahara Hair, and then the original trailer. Not a ton. Just got a question from Sam in the chat that says, how come these never get features? They just don't have the budget for it. They put all the money into restoration work, and the fact that they're putting out 6 or 7 a month, I guess I'll allow it, especially because you can usually get these for a pretty decent price. If you wait, you can get them for $14-15. You don't got to pay $22 on release date or anything like that. That being said, do I wish there was more? Yeah. And in all reality, I would love to do like a visual essay or a commentary on half these releases.
Oh,
hell, we would probably do it for like free for a quarter of it. But at this point, it's hard to complain because it's a studio putting love into. I died 1,000 times. No other studio is doing that except for Sony, and they don't do it at the rate that Warner Archive is doing it. So bravo to them.
Yeah, and they always carry over. Like if there was a commentary in the past, they always carry it over. Or occasionally you'll see it. Like I think the Devil Doll had a really good, like some of their horror titles, they'll splurge. Like that one had a good commentary. So every once in a while, but yeah, I wish they had more because I'd love to work for them and help because it's just amazing titles.
Yeah, well, and not only that, a couple of the horror titles have gotten like 2-disc releases because they have so much on.
Yeah, like the Hammer horror ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and they really, really go into that, and it's nice to see because, again, these are probably going to be the best releases of some of these films. So if they're willing to do that, yeah, I'm glad that they're doing it. It is something that needs it, and it's good work. Again, the restoration work is pretty top notch for a studio, and at that point, just I love it. I want to point out because he's here. You should go support Real Black. And he's talking about he loves this shirt because it is a Real Black shirt. Go check out his site at shop.realblack.com. Well-priced, comfortable shirt, good material. Please, it needs to happen so we can see a good release of Riverbend coming out. And I'm going to be, I've been saying this to him a couple of years behind the scenes. I promise we're getting there. I'm sorry. He's going to be on the channel soon. We're going to be discussing Riverbend. And in all reality, he needs all the support and Black film needs the support. That's why I wanted to buy the shirt because it's important. So yeah, check out the site, buy a shirt. It's needed. All right. So my favorite part of Warner Archive, especially over the last couple of years, is the random obscure animation titles that they're releasing. And this is so different than anything that I ever expected. And beyond that, we do have some weird like controversy, I guess. This cover art is already wrong. This is not the actual cover for this release. And as it turns out, they took the background animation of this from the Madeline cartoon, and they don't own Madeline.
Okay, I can see that.
They had to replace it because they don't own it. I don't know how.
I saw that they changed it, but I didn't hear the backstory behind that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how that, like, you can't accidentally do that. So very confusing there, but this is Touche Turtle and Dum Dum, the complete series. This is covering 4K scans of the original episodic negatives of 52 episodes of Touche Turtle and Dum Dum. And again, this is 275 minutes of an animated show that most of you in the chat have probably never heard of. It's only 2 discs, so it's only like 6.5 hours of content. But still, the fact that they're doing 4K scans of the original elements of Touche Turtle and Dum Dum is amazing. I'm so stoked that we're getting this animation. I'm sure you're into these since you called out the other one. I
recently got their Wacky Races release, and that was really fun. I hadn't heard of it before, and then all of a sudden at the same time, like Dynamite Comics put out a one-shot comic with Wacky Races, so it just seemed like Kismet, the universe, wanted Wacky Races out there again. But that show is super fun. I love that that one has like the same race cars every episode. Like they didn't add new characters, they just kept adding more gags, changing the locations. It's such a simple premise, but I adored that one. And that one I'd never heard of before. So yeah, Turtle who looks like he's dressed like Robin Hood, I am all for that. I think that's great. I don't know why the poor dog is called Dum Dum, but I definitely like the turtle.
And maybe we'll find out and we can empathize in the first couple episodes. I was vaguely aware of this. I don't think I've ever seen a full episode, but I've definitely seen like pictures from the animation for this, just looking up old Hanna-Barbera stuff. And I, again, cannot believe that we're getting like full Huckleberry Hound. We're getting a complete series of this. Those things happen. Like even the Wacky Races one, I never would have imagined that we would get brand new restorations of the complete series. That is mind-blowing to me. So all of these, I literally, everyone that Warner Archive releases, I will buy, and I will try to buy day one so that they get the most support out of them, because I want to fund these. And that's, I try to not say those sort of things on the show, because I'm not trying to talk anybody into buying something out of the principle or the story of it. If you want it, buy it. If you don't. But for this, I want to feel good about putting money into something like this because, oh God, like we need more of these. I love it.
Absolutely. They just feel good TV that you can just pop on anytime. It's fantastic.
Well, and that for me especially, and I don't need to get all super family oriented for a quick moment or anything, but I will say it is really nice when I can get something like this and share the love of my life. Don't tell my wife, the physical media and film with my kids, because most of these things I can't show my kids for like another 12 years, and by then they'll be 20, and that's weird. But it's one of those things where, like, if I can say, hey, I just got this in, do we want to watch a disc? And like I've shown them some of the Tom and Jerry stuff that Warner Archive has put out. They've discovered old cartoons through so many of these, and I freaking love it. I love that I can bring my kids in and say, look, I just got this disc in, let's watch it.
Yeah.
It's a good time, and Warner Archive, you get all my support for something like this, so thank you. This doesn't matter because it's already passed, so I'm going to go right by it. Vinegar Syndrome has announced that there's an upcoming Labor Day sale because it's Vinegar Syndrome, so of course there's an upcoming sale. This year in April, they announced that they were moving a warehouse, and they completed it back then. They, during that time, have supposedly uncovered a bunch of product that they thought was sold out. So they've got slipcovers, cases, discs that have all been tucked away for years, hidden in that old warehouse. And now they are able to put some of these on sale, and they are building like a group of these things. They said, just like past Labor Day sales, we will also be bringing you new titles, major discounts, a VSMC promotion, new merch, and more. Melusine will have its own sale as well, so you can look forward to that. This is all going to start at 12:01 a.m. Eastern on Friday, August 29th, and then run through 11:59 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, September 2nd. A variety of products released prior to November 2024 will be discounted during the event, including releases and merchandise ranging from 10 to 75% off. And there will be special discounted sections of the site that you can browse. And then in addition to the items being discounted, they will be launching a new batch of out-of-print titles every day of the sale. These will drop when the sale starts Friday, August 29th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern, and then the following drops will take place every day at noon Eastern. Be sure to come back every day because that's what they're trying to do, to get you there every single day to spend more money. And during this time, they're also going to be launching the normal September lineup of VS and all of their partner label release stuff at 12:01 p.m. Eastern on Monday, September 1st. VS, have you gone much into the Vinegar Syndrome or partner label world to collect things?
I love their cinematography. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Cinematograph.
Okay, Cinematica. I love those titles. I love the Altman, Thieves Like Us, fantastic. Rocket, something, the Nick Cage one with Dennis Hopper. That movie's fantastic. I still need to get looking for Mr. Goodbar. I love all the movies they're releasing through that. Otherwise, I do like some of the, like, they did a random Barbara Stanwyck anthology film that was really cool. I don't remember, Flesh and Fantasy, which does not sound like a Barbara Stanwyck film, but it was. I'm pretty sure I got that right. But that was a really good one. I do like some of their titles, and I know they recently sold out of one, and like the standard edition sold out right away too. Scarecrow something that I was really annoyed at myself for not picking up. So I don't know, because like I knew the limited editions, yeah, they sell out, and I like slipcovers, but sometimes I'll live if I don't get the slipcover. But when the standard edition like sold out, like during the pre-order stage, like, oh, I messed up there. But yeah.
Well, it's not out of print. It is coming back. So, and you can even buy it on Amazon. So there's nothing. Yeah,
no, you can't. Not right now. It's like right now, it's like it's got that Amazon where they act like it disappeared, and like occasionally, like weeks later, it'll show up. But yeah, they won't let you order it right now because I was kicking myself for not doing that one. But yeah, I like Vinegar Syndrome, and I look forward to their announcements, especially like I think the last sale when they did one every day. I love looking forward to that. Like at 12 o'clock, let's check the computer. I will be that person who immediately, if you give me a time when an announcement's coming, I will be there 5 minutes before waiting for it. So yeah, I'm glad they're having
that title that you were looking for, Scarecrow and a Garden of Cucumbers.
Yeah,
that was released by AGFA, and yes, not out of print. You'll be able to get that for a long time, I promise.
But yeah, I'm glad it sold out so quickly. But I've never seen a standard edition fly so quick, so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. I think the other fastest one was probably The Keep, and even that one took like
Yeah.
36 hours last time. So this one was pretty quick. All right, that was the VS sale. That'll be live next Friday when we do the show next Thursday, going into Friday. So we might even be able to talk about that on the show. So we'll see. TerraVision. We were live. Well, we weren't live, I guess. We had a pre-recorded video to talk about these last week and have some interesting things to cover. First, this is coming in October. You can pre-order this now as part of the 13 weeks of Halloween. And this is the 1988 film Hide and Go Shriek, coming on 4K UHD from TerraVision. This is a shockingly great movie for what it is. This is a brand new 4K scan from the Inner Positive, and it's uncut for the first time ever since VHS and Laserdisc. So on DVD, Blu-ray, it was never not uncut. They were always cut. And this is going to have all kinds of new extras. This is going to be a 2-disc set. You got the 4K disc, Blu-ray disc. You've got the uncut version presented on 4K and Blu-ray. There's a 40-page book with new writing from Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, who we already shouted out earlier. Jason Kleberg, friend of mine who runs the Force 5 podcast. Go listen to that show. It's a great show. Stephanie Crawford, who does amazing work. I'm working with her on something else behind the scenes right now, too. Michael Verratti, who's amazing. And then Brad Henderson, who's a pretty okay guy. I love you, Brad. New commentary with Skip Skulnick and Mark Manos. We've got a newly produced making of documentary for this with all kinds of new interviews with people from the movie, all edited together wonderfully by John Daly, aka Rock Chudson. I gotta say, his editing on this is mind-blowing. I said this in the video last week, but I really want to highlight, I think this 45-minute documentary might be like top 3 bonus features that TerraVision has ever produced. It's genuinely incredible, very personal stories as part of this doc. A lot of these like cobbled together documentaries kind of go over the same things, and it's like, okay, cool. And by the 30th minute, you're like, I've heard a version of the story 6 times now. This is not like that. This is a very interesting, very like dense 45 minutes of really great story. So if you love this movie, you're going to absolutely love this release. We've got a full Laserdisc presentation of here. We've got the Code Red Blu-ray scan on here as well. There's some archival extras. It's a lot. Please check it out if you're interested in slashers. The big thing that people might be interested in, if you've never seen this one, this is a single location slasher. So it all takes place in a furniture store, and it's a very good movie for what it is. I'm assuming, have you not seen Hide and Go Shriek?
I haven't heard of it, but you're selling it very well. I love the furniture store randomness. I would definitely like. I mean, this is the obvious one, but I love Black Christmas. So I don't have as much knowledge. I love horror, but slashers is more of a blind area for me. But yeah, I liked how in the one picture he had a foot tattoo. I'm curious. I definitely would be interested in seeing this one. But yeah, I've never heard of it before, but I like the title too. Any pun works.
This is really cool, and I do believe this is legit, Rachel. Carrie Mulligan in the chat says if there's an address, they will send you their copy of Scarecrow.
That's extremely kind of you.
They like the film, but not one they'd revisit. Is there an email address they can email you at, Rachel?
Yeah, I can definitely provide that. I think it's actually on my you said you put the link to my website, which thank you for doing that. In the post in my About Me section, I know I have an email there, or I can give it to Ryan, or he can pass it on, whichever.
You could say it right now as well.
That's
if
true.
You're okay with that.
Yeah, it's just my name, Rachel.Bellwoar@gmail.com. So it's nothing fancy. Always good with the obvious. Yeah, that's fine.
All of that to lead up to Rachel.Bellwoar@gmail.com.
It's really a hard one to remember, but yeah.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Thank you for doing that. Carrie Mulligan, thank you so much.
You.
That's such a kind thing to see in the chat. I love that the people in the chat are like that. Yeah, Hide and Go Shriek, check it out. It's a great time. I don't need to keep selling it, but the next one is one that people are definitely going to have a lot of questions about, and that is TerraVision. In November, they are releasing secret mystery title. All we know Well, I shouldn't say we, because I know what it is. This is from the 1900s. It's not a new film. It is a pre-order. This will not ship until after Halloween. And the reason they're doing that is because if you purchase this, they want you to be able to get it with the rest of your Halloween titles. But also, this is a set pre-order. This is limited to a maximum of 2,000 units. And if it's sold out before Halloween, it'll be over. You can't buy anymore. If it is still available on Halloween, then it will not be sold anymore. They're not going to do any more of these. This is a complete limited edition feature. It has a slipcover. It does have bonus features. This is a full release. And I do know what it is. I do want to highlight one thing. Everybody is pissed off on the whole like blind buying thing, and I totally get that. I do want to try to make people feel a little at ease. This is not like this is a terrible movie and we are just trying to get rid of it, so this is the only way it would sell. This is a legitimately very interesting thing, that it is like a lot of other TerraVision titles that they just wanted to see, would people be into this? Let's have some fun as part of the 13 weeks of Halloween. It was literally just a fun idea. The big thing, though, it is $14.99 for a full Blu-ray release with the slipcover, with bonus features and everything. Full release. I don't remember in the last 5 or 6 years that any boutique company has released a full release with newly produced special features and a big thick slipcover for $15 in 2025. That's kind of unheard of.
People are getting angry at this.
Yes,
acting like this is a bad thing.
And I do understand the whole like I need to know what I'm giving my money to aspect.
Of course, but for $14.99, that's not
$15.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else. It's a good time. I like the movie. I like the extras, considering I helped with the extras. But it's $15. $15.
I think it's fun. Everything's blind box now. Why not? I've never seen anyone try it to that level. I think that's awesome. Other than the upsetness later when you realize how great it is and you wish you had ordered it. Like I see that being the problem more than being upset that, oh, I got this horrible movie. It's not going to be horrible. And even like I'll have a movie that's not my favorite, but the bonus, with that many bonus features too, you're covered bound to find something interesting. I think that's really cool that they're doing that.
Yeah, and I've got 2 people asking, is this a horror release? Not only is it a horror release, to try to put some people at ease for another aspect, all of the releases during the 13 weeks of Halloween are horror in some aspect. Every single one that we're doing from now until Halloween, all of the home video reveals are all horror related. So go to town on that front. It is all going to be horror, yes. In at least some way. Although I think one of the hints that he gave was like one of them is a splatter comedy. So it's at least horror adjacent. But yes, it's a good time, and I like that they're doing this. And if you're excited about the TerraVision stuff, I will say, since it's not a part of the announcements, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, we are live again for the next week. What is this? The third week? Fourth week? I think this is the third week. Good Lord. I am busy lately. Third week of the 13 weeks of Halloween, tomorrow, live at 5 p.m. Eastern. We are revealing what they kind of already revealed today, and that is a new sub-label for TerraVision. And if that is interesting to you, or if you've seen the logo, or if you've already set the video to save so it pops up tomorrow for you, it is going to be called Death Nerve Video. Death Nerve Video. It is something that Brad has claimed is 14 years in the making, and I can say that is accurate since I know the story behind it. Check it out. It's a good time. Tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun, and I think one of the things for TerraVision that I'm more excited about than a lot of other things right now. So if that makes you interested in hanging out tomorrow, come hang out. We'll be live on this channel. We'll also be live on the TerraVision YouTube channel. Stoked to hang out. Next, Imprint. You mentioned as one of your favorite companies. They put out a wild triptych of releases coming in October. All 3 of these are going to be 4K. All 3 are releasing on October 29th. This first one is a Hammer horror film from 1971 Twins of Evil. Have you seen Twins of Evil, Rachel?
I have not. I've seen the other lesbian Hammer film with Ingrid Pitt. I've seen that one, but I have not seen this one yet. So I love Hammer. So, and I don't have this one yet. So yeah, and Peter Cushing. Yeah, it's everything's good about it, and that is some beautiful packaging. Even though, again, I don't need 4K, but I know people do. But yeah, I'm good with classic Blu-ray.
Yeah, and I know this is one of those things that people don't always praise Imprint for, because they don't do a lot of in-house restoration work, but Twins of Evil is one of their in-house restorations, and I bet this is going to look absolutely magnificent, that's the word, on 4K. Twins of Evil is a quite fun film. I really like this as part of the Hammer story. This thing is going to be limited to 1,500 copies, and on this, we've got a commentary by Kim Newman and Stephen Jones from 2021, another one from Jonathan Rigby and Kevin Lyons from 2021, new documentary called Bloodlines Inside Twins of Evil from this year. We got the isolated music and effects track, and then on the Blu-ray disc, we've got all of those on top of some other archival features, including the visual essay from 2021 by Kat Ellinger. We've got some other interviews and some featurettes, a Super 8 version of the film, bunch of other stuff, and of course a booklet coming in. This is a 60-page hardcover booklet featuring over 100 photographs and a reprint of the original 1971 press kit. And I got to be honest, I love when we do stuff like that, because those kind of things don't get archived enough, and eventually they don't exist. You can't see them anymore. So the fact that we're doing it, I love that we're doing it. This sounds like a fun release, and probably going to be a great restoration.
Agreed.
Next up, Carrie in 4K. This is likely, I don't know for a fact, but this has already been released twice on 4K. This is likely the exact same 4K scan that was done for Shout and for Arrow. And as far as new features, there are a total of, zero. I did not miss any. There are no new features. Essentially, if you've already got a 4K release of this, you likely don't need this. But if Carrie's your favorite movie, I actually kind of really like the box art they went with here, and there is a flip image lenticular card for it. They've got art card.
I love that from a kid, like the scratching it. I love the sound.
Yep.
I'm a sucker for those covers.
Yeah, this looks great. Carrie, I'm sure this is a movie you've seen multiple times, even probably.
Yeah. Well, Sissy Spacek, I will follow her anywhere.
Incredible in this.
Piper Laurie, yeah, it's a good movie, and yeah, I don't know that I'll be buying this edition, but I think it's a great one if you don't have it. And it's always, you always assume like everyone's seen Carrie, but there are tons of people who probably haven't yet, and you're in for a ride, and it's definitely a classic for a reason. And yeah, I'm glad you can never have it too many times out there, so good for them.
Yep. And the other one that has been released quite a bit is also Invasion of the Body Snatchers, coming on 4K. This is the 1978 version with Donald Sutherland, of course. This one has a lenticular hard box with a 40-page booklet and 6 art cards, limited to 1,500 copies, and oh so many new bonus features. Wait, no, the answer is 0. I do wish that we got new things for these all the time. However, it's just not even that feasible. Like, a lot has been said about Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Carrie throughout the years, so I get it to a point. And that being said, if you're in Australia, this is going to be one of the best ways to get the release. And if you're elsewhere, you probably don't need to get it, and you probably already have it anyways.
Yeah. Kino released that one too, right? And I personally prefer the original. Yeah, I prefer the original. The original is fantastic. I'm not as big a fan on the 70s version, even though I know it has, for a remake, it has a lot of fans. But yeah, I'll stick with the original.
Yeah, I think it's very good too. I do prefer this one, but the original is quite fun. I don't know. Nothing can beat Donald Sutherland.
In general, yes, I agree.
Kino Lorber releasing A Bridge Too Far on 4K soon. And speaking of Imprint previously released this on 4K in a big hard box release, and it was quite expensive. So the big thing here is this will likely be not quite expensive, much cheaper. And if you love this movie, that'll be the cheap way to get this movie on 4K. So looking forward to that. Have you seen this one?
I have seen that one because I'm a Dirk Bogarde fan, and he's in there, and it's a pretty good one. And I recently got Imprint's box set. They did another one. It's essentially war film, so it's one of their Tales of Adventure ones, and it had another bridge to Remagen, because I guess keep going with that title. But it made me appreciate with this film they have a parachute scene and it doesn't go well. Like people get lost. It just felt like things happened that were wrong. And in the Imprint box set, there's a movie called Counterattack with Paul Muni, and they have a paratrooper scene, and they just like cut to them all walking in a group at the end, and everything's fine. And it just made me appreciate this film where they show people getting stuck in trees and all these things that you do not plan for a perfect landing. And it just made me appreciate this film more, because in the other film, it's like they just cut to them being on the ground. You didn't even see them. I think they did like maybe a shot of just not the actors parachuting and just cut to them happily walking at the end. And it's like, this movie did it a lot better. So yeah, if you like war films, this is a very, and sometimes like when they have that ensemble cast, I kind of like cringe, like it's like, oh, it's too good to be true with that many great actors in it. But this is actually, I think, one of the better ones. If you can say you enjoy a war film, this is one of the better ones.
I've not seen this one, but this one came up a lot recently with Gene Hackman's passing. And when you look at a cast like this, again, kind of hard to turn away when you realize in one movie, James Caan, Sean Connery, Elliot Gould, Gene Hackman, Dick Bogard, Anthony frickin' Hopkins. And if that's not even enough for you, okay, you can also have Laurence Olivier and Ryan O'Neal, Liv Ullmann even. Like, there's so many names in this. Absolutely crazy. All right, let's keep going. To some Criterion stuff. Maybe the most controversial of this week's announcements. November 25th, we are getting 4K and Blu-ray releases from Criterion of Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut from '99. This is a new 4K digital restoration of the international version of the film, which means it is the uncut version. It's not the U.S. censored version. Supervised and approved by the DP, Larry Smith. You've got a new interview with Smith as well. There's a couple other people that were involved on the technical side, newly interviewed. Some archival interviews with the wife of Stanley. We've got Never Just a Dream from 2019 with interviews with some of the producers and others involved as well. And then Lost Kubrick, the unfinished films of Stanley Kubrick from 2007. Kubrick Remembered from 2014 with interviews as well. And then the 1998 acceptance speech for the DGA's D.W. Griffith Award. Press conference from '99, teasers, trailers, all that fun stuff, and then an essay by the author Megan Abbott and a '99 interview with Sidney Pollack. Eyes Wide Shut. Is this something that you're interested in?
I tried it, to tell you the truth, and I think it's more stubbornness than anything else. I've kind of avoided Kubrick, he's like one of those like film school ones that everyone fawns over, and maybe deservedly so. I haven't gone enough into it. I've like deliberately avoided it, and like I did try this one. It just like sometimes it feels like overkill, and like I said, I haven't seen it enough. I could get into his films one day and totally say I was wrong. I'm sorry. But yeah, I guess kind of like have this aversion to like how he can do no wrong. And yeah, I do love Nicole Kidman. I did try this one, but yeah, it's not my favorite. And yeah, I think it was on the Criterion channel once and I tried it, but yeah.
Yeah, I understand and agree with a lot of that. This isn't anywhere like this isn't even top, I don't know, 7 Kubrick for me or anything like that. But that being said, it absolutely fits Criterion. It's a good Christmas movie. It's a good subversive movie. I mean, the fact that we get Tom Cruise in a film about this, with this happening in the movie, in like looking back in 2025, this is one of those things where you go, wow, he actually did that. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, it's nice that this is getting a nice proper release. I will say, I thought it was hilarious seeing everybody argue about this art. The cover art here, as they said, is new cover based on an original poster by Katerina Kubrick and Christiane Kubrick. This was rejected poster art way back in '99, and Criterion said, "Ha! Rejected my ass. Let's put it on the cover." And everybody went, "Oh God, that's hideous." And the other half of the crowd went, "No, it's beautiful because it's associated with Kubrick." I don't know. It kind of fits the aesthetic of the film. I get it. That being said, this isn't like a poster I would hang on the wall, I don't think.
I like the bold colors. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the cover art at all. No. And yeah, I think that's kind of a cool story. Like, it speaks to what you said before, like these things that get lost, like the press books these posters that were rejected. It's like I like that they find a way to bring them back, even if people hate it. Yeah, I think it's cool. I like it.
Yes. It's certainly bold. All right. The rest of the month was pretty big for Criterion as well. I am curious how you feel about this one. The next one, November 4th, they're putting out a 4K of The Breakfast Club. How do you feel about that?
Okay, just start stomping on more people's childhood favorites. I'm not a big John Hughes person. I'm one of the people like Pretty in Pink. She should have picked Ducky. I'm done. I just get annoyed with the character choices so much. I have seen Breakfast Club, and yeah, I know it's the anniversary year, so they should be getting a nice release. They deserve it. But yeah, it just has not connected with me so much. Just overall, his filmography. I didn't relate to the teenagers in those movies.
I get it. I do love John Hughes a lot,
Okay,
and
sorry.
I still think this is one of the most overrated films in his filmography. I don't understand how many people are still so dedicated to this movie. I feel like this does not hold up all that great. I definitely won't get the 4K. I've got the Blu-ray. That's enough for me. Yeah, The Breakfast Club. Most people have seen it, and no new extras because it's Criterion. Next, one that we talked about last month. House Party coming on 4K and Blu-ray from Criterion on November 11th. And this one is a director's approved 4K and Blu-ray special edition. New 4K digital restoration supervised by the DP and approved by the writer-director. This is going to have a new audio commentary with Hudlin, new conversation between Hudlin, the producer Warrington Hudlin, and the film scholar Raquel Gates. New cast reunion featuring a bunch of the actors from the film. Stoked that they're doing that. We've got House Party from '83, the student short by Reginald Hudlin, on which the feature is based. And then we've got new cover by Gabe Tiberino, which I love this art here. And then we got an essay by the author Michael Harriot. Have you seen House Party?
I have not, but when everybody got excited by it, I immediately watched the trailer. I love the Eraserhead reference in the trailer. I love the dancing. I'm definitely, just from everyone's reaction, it's just like, ooh, this is exciting. And yeah, I've never heard of it before, but I like that. It does sound like it has some really cool bonus features and new bonus features like reunion. I did not know about it before, but I'm definitely interested now from watching and just seeing everybody get excited about it.
Yeah. When I stumbled across that YouTube video last month and posted the announcement for this, so many people were like, House Party is not coming on Criterion. I was like, just wait. And here it is. Exactly like I said. I'm so stoked that this is happening. I cannot believe that we're getting the original short that inspired this. I can't believe that, all these years later, it has been 35 years and Kid and Play are getting a Criterion release. Like, that is mind-blowing, and I love it, and it deserves all the attention. It is going to be just absolutely great. Can't wait to get this in November.
I like that it's a new title too. Like, I know there's an importance to putting it out in 4K, but it's taken away some of like the new title. It's like, oh, it's just a new release of the same one they already have out. But I just like, this is one that we haven't seen in the collection yet, and those are the ones I personally, like I said, because I don't do 4K, I get more excited about the ones that have never been there. So yeah, this looks awesome.
It's going to be a good one, and this is it'll be on sale in November when it comes out, so it'll be a day one for me. Next, one that ashamedly I've not seen yet, but has been on my watch list for.
Have you seen Fitzcarraldo though?
No.
The movie that. Oh, okay.
November 11th, we're getting a 4K and Blu-ray release here of Burden of Dreams from '82. And yes, speaking of Fitzcarraldo, this is a documentary following Werner Herzog trying to complete one of the most ambitious and difficult films ever, Fitzcarraldo. As we have seen before in the previous release that came out on DVD, this includes things like Werner Herzog eats his shoe, one of the most famous bonus features of all time. We've got audio commentary with Les Blank. We've got interview with Herzog. All of these are older. There's a new subtitle translation, and then an essay by film scholar Paul Arthur and a book of excerpts from Blank's and Gosling's production journals. Tell me about Fitzcarraldo and why I desperately need Burden of Dreams, Rachel.
Well, first you just need Fitzcarraldo. I wish it had been able to be like a double feature release. Like, I think Shout released it, so maybe there was a right thing. But I would have loved a double feature of the documentary and the movie. Yeah, I love Werner Herzog. Greer's my favorite, but Fitzcarraldo is a close second. And any documentary, because that boat and if it's a Werner Herzog movie, you're going to be in the elements. It's going to be real rough and tough, and why actors would agree? Well, because it's Klaus Kinski, so that's how he'll always. Most actors would not agree to do the kind of films that Werner Herzog did, and those really out in the elements and dangerous and probably not safe in any way. And yeah, what they do with that boat and how they make it move on land. And yeah, I don't think I've seen this documentary. Like, I've seen bonus features on Fitzcarraldo, which like I start mixing up in my head, but I don't think I've actually seen a documentary. But it's a great movie. Definitely prioritize watching the movie first. But yeah, and just hearing Werner Herzog talk whenever he does like appears on talk shows now, I will listen to him. I think he's just fascinating. He's like Werner Herzog and John Waters. If they do an interview, I will watch it because anything they say is gold. And yeah, so a documentary from that time on one of the craziest bonkers. How did they thrive making that movie? Yeah, it's a good time. And it's just, the whole time it doesn't feel real. Like, you would never see these movies today because they'd be CGI. They would not go to those locations, and they just did it. And yeah, it's ambitious. And yeah, I don't think that'll be happening again anytime soon on this level.
I love that original line from you of you have to think, how did they make this movie? And the answer is because it's Klaus Kinski. That is the only reason somebody would make that decision.
And because they together, there's a reason they're so tight. I mean, Werner Herzog's done other films, Klaus Kinski's, but they are so tightly associated together for a reason. The films they did as a team are memorable for all the great. Yeah, I would want that, and I like the cover. It makes him look like a hero pose. It's great.
I need that one for sure. The other thing that we talked about last month is the return of the Eclipse series. And not only is it returning, it is upgrading to Blu-ray. So November 18th, we are getting a Blu-ray set of this Abbas Kiarostami early shorts and features covering from 1970 to 89. And there's a lot of things here. I could probably read through these really quickly. We got Bread in the Alley, A Break Time, Experience, The Traveler, Two Solutions for One Problem, Sokenai, Colors, A Wedding Suit, Tribute to Teachers, Solution Number One, First Case, Second Case, Toothache, Orderly or Disorderly, The Course, Fellow Citizen, First Graders, and Homework. And these are 2K restorations undertaken by MK2 in collaboration with Rich Ravada. You've all heard that name before. We've also got an essay by Ashan Kusbakht that is in this release. Again, Eclipse is something that people that have been diehard Criterion fans for a long time, they know what like panache is held in that line. And the fact that we're getting upgrades of many of these and new ones coming is very exciting. I feel like this is going to be a really interesting time to see these coming out, to see Radiance doing these prestige releases over in the UK, and Eureka with their Masters of Cinema stuff. Kino putting out some of their classics things that they do. It is an incredible time for physical media. Are you excited about this one?
Extremely. I will say I'm not very familiar with Kiarostami's work, but just in general, the Eclipse line coming back is fantastic. I know they already said Lubitsch's musicals, which I have the DVD ones, but I would probably upgrade that because I love Miriam Hopkins and Lubitsch, and I'm really hoping the Ki Kaurismäki one, which was originally like his Matchbook Girl films, I'm hoping that will get upgraded. So, and like the early Ozu films, like I have a few of these sets because I'm not as much of it. I will, versus rating for it and not owning it at all, I will usually get the DVD. So I think it's really cool. I'm interested to see how they balance like the upgrades versus new Eclipse sets that we haven't seen yet. But I think I'm glad it's continuing. I know Imogen, Sarah Smith is behind it, and anything she does is going to be great. So yeah, I'm really excited by this news, and yeah, it's just you find there's some really good films, and I know there's like a Japanese Western, like Cult something that's on one of the sets, and yeah, I'm just very curious to see how they're going to balance it and how often we're going to be. Is it going to be every month, every other month? I'm curious what the scheduling is going to be like.
Yeah, very curious about that. Actually, this is exciting. I'm glad
Yeah.
that they're doing it. And again, Imogen, kind of,
Yeah.
it is kind of hard to describe what Imogen can do because she can make any Criterion auteur, she can make any Criterion focused genre, any of these things beyond not just entertaining, but engrossing. Even the way that she is accessible about these things is what makes her the perfect arbiter for a series like this, because without them being accessible, and not just like in an actual I am able to purchase them, but in a not only am I able to, I genuinely want to, is she's making these like welcoming to newcomers. And that's incredibly important for movies,
Yeah, I think
especially like
Aaron.
this.
Sorry, but I think Aaron West might be here today. I did his Cine Journey class that he had hosted. Imogen taught this class on Palin Pressburger films, and I think she has another class coming eventually. And if you're at all interested in that, it was fantastic. Like every Tuesday, we got to go through Palin Pressburger's filmography, and it was just a blast hearing her talk and being able to ask her questions. And I was too nervous to go on camera for that one, but technically you can actually visually speak with her if you want. I just did the typing, but it was a really great time, and it's just like, oh, this person that I love from the Blu-rays is real, and I'm in the same chat room with her, and it just, the Cine Journey website is great, and yeah, anything she does is gold.
Aaron says she's the best, and she's really excited for Eclipse coming back, undoubtedly. And yeah, shout out Cine Journeys. Everybody that hasn't checked them out, go check out Cine Journeys. This very exciting as well. November 18th, we're getting 4K and Blu-ray releases of Hell's Angels from 1930. For those that have not seen it, this one, another Jean Harlow film. This one directed by Howard Hughes. It says a high-flying feat of adventure filmmaking and a testament to the audacious, spare-no-expense vision of Howard Hughes. This landmark aviation epic remains exhilarating both for its daredevil aerial sequences and its nerve pre-code punch. With the onset of World War I, two British brothers recruited into the Royal Flying Corps, Ben Lyon and James Hall are the ones playing the brothers there, find their bond tested by their differing attitudes toward the war and their love for the same woman, played by Jean Harlow, in her bombshell breakthrough. The product of a notoriously long and dangerous production that resulted in the deaths of multiple crew members, Hell's Angels broke new technical ground, making use of early sound and color technologies and capturing some of the most thrilling and dogfight scenes ever filmed. And I got to say, one of the best cover art for Criterion that they've done in years. And I will stand behind that. I think this is remarkable poster. This is one that I would put on my wall in a heartbeat. New 4K digital restoration of the Magnascope Roadshow version with uncompressed mono soundtrack. You get a 4K disc and a Blu-ray disc with the movie and special features. New interview with Robert Legato, the visual effects supervisor for the Howard Hughes biopic, The Aviator. We got a new interview with the critic Farron Smith name about actor Jean Harlow, outtakes and rushes from the film with commentary by the Harlow biographer David Sten, and then an essay by the author and journalist Fred Kaplan. Got to shout out the artist on the cover, Sam Hadley. This looks amazing. I know you're super into this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have watched this film before, and it is a lot of the planes that Howard Hughes loves, and a lot more planes than I would need in a movie. But then Howard Hughes also gave me one of my favorite Vincent Price movies, His Kind of Woman, which was a recent Warner Archive, where Vincent Price basically gets on a boat and the boat sinks, and it's just the most hilarious moment. And bad when like you watch that one actually did have a commentary, and it's a horrible budget move. Like they made a tank of water just so they could have this sinking scene, and I think the takes, and it was freezing, and it just sounds like it was horrible conditions, because that's the Howard Hughes film. People end up dead apparently. It's the making of it. It doesn't end well, but in that time I like the instance. Here it's just a little too much of his plane obsession, but it's still Jean Harlow. I'm glad this is coming out. I think the bonus features sound cool, to actually, because I think I like hearing about how the plane stunts were done more than I like watching them, but it's still a good movie, and so I think it's great that it's coming out.
Well, if somehow that's not enough for you from Criterion, last up this month, November 18th, 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD releases of little-known filmmaker Bunuel's L from 1953. This is so great that we're getting a release like this. New 4K digital restoration supervised by the photographer Gabriel Figueroa Flores, director of photography Gabriel Figueroa's son. This is going to have a new visual essay on Bunuel by the scholar Jordi Zafira. Appreciation by the filmmaker Guillermo del Toro. Up-and-coming name. You might have heard of him. Interview with Bunuel from 81. We've got a panel discussion from 2009 moderated by Jose Luis Garci, and then a essay by critic Fernanda Solizarno, and an interview with Bunuel by critics Jose de la Colina and Tomas Perez Torrent. New cover art here, also very striking for this one. It's simple and minimalist, but I actually really like this one.
That's
Bunuel,
the one I'd want on my wall. I love this. It just reminds me of every great clock tower scene, whether it's Vertigo, Black Narcissus. I haven't seen this one, but right away, like the history of clock tower scenes, it makes me. I have seen like some, like I've seen Belle de Jour, fantastic.
Yeah.
I have not seen this one, but yeah, I definitely want to see what they're doing on that clock tower, and whether it ends as badly as things usually do from that height.
Yeah, it's exciting. I love that this is coming out, and just like in the chat was said, hopefully the first of many of the Bunuel Mexican films. So we shall see what the future holds. Next up, we don't talk a lot about the premium releases because a lot of times we don't find out until after they're sold out. But this one is actually going up for sale tomorrow. So coming on December 1st, we get a 4K Steelbook coming in the UK and available to pre-order tomorrow, Friday, August 22nd at 8 p.m. BST from Astro Creations. That is 2018's Annihilation. These are one-click sets, or you can get the single Steelbooks, which one-clicks are kind of crazy. If you love this movie, you go in and get 3 versions of the exact same disc in 3 different Steelbooks. Wild. Some good art. Annihilation is a movie that can lead to some very surreal imagery, so I'm glad that they got some good art on these. These are going to be twin bossed, which means they're going to be embossed and debossed steelbooks, which is really great. You can be able to do a group buy for this on Media Psychos, on debossed steelbooks, on High Def Ninja, or you can order it direct from their website. You've also got a whole bunch of different options, 3 different cover arts if you're going to go for the full slip. Lots to cover. Have you seen Annihilation?
I have not seen it.
This is the Alex Garland film starring Natalie Portman and Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Okay, now it's ringing a bell.
It's an interesting movie. It's one of the better Alex Garland films, in my opinion.
Okay.
But yeah, this is for the crazies. Like if this is one of your favorite movies of all time, that's when you consider something like this. Otherwise, this is a whole lot of a whole lot of money for not a whole lot of movie, and it gets very expensive, very. All right, moving to our next one. From Annihilation to Annihilation, in a way, Death Wish 3 from 1985, coming to 4K from Kino on October 28th. They got a brand new 4K Dolby Vision Master from this one, and a new commentary by Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson. Love that they're doing that. They've got the alternate ending, also brand newly restored, and in HDR and SDR. They've also got commentary by Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson on that one. Check out Death Wish 3 if you somehow have never done it.
I have not, but
neither have I.
Now, okay, with the Death Wish series, do you have to watch them in order? Like, I know this is like they're doing specifically 3. Like, do you have to see 1 and 2 first, or?
It probably holds up some, but it'll probably help a little bit that way. But from what I've been told, this is a bit of a descent into madness if you go into order, just because of him aging through all of these and the way that his character changes through all of these. So yeah, when I watch all of them, I'm going to watch them all in order. That's for sure.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was continuity, consistency, if it was just the title that they kept repeating. But yeah, okay. I know it's
like Gary said, he says, I love how silly they get. So basically it's a descent into silliness for sure. All right, so that's Death Wish 3. Next up, For Whom the Bell Tolls from 1943, coming on Blu-ray from Kino on October 28th. This is a Gary Cooper and Ingrid Bergman film. This is going to have a new HD master from a 4K scan of the UCLA film elements. We've also got the Roadshow version on here, and then a new audio commentary by David Del Valle and Dan Marino. Not that Dan Marino, but the other one. For Whom the Bell Tolls. Have you seen this one?
I have not. I'm not a big Hemingway fan, which doesn't mean the movie can't be good. But just as an English major, me and Hemingway did not get along. But I would be interested. Overall, I find films adapted from Hemingway books are not my favorite. But I also like David Del Valle. He was recently on a Kino release of Sylvia Sidney films, and that was fantastic. So I know the commentary will be good. But yeah, not immediately. Just from my English major grudge against Hemingway, not an immediate sell, but it looks like a good release of it.
Yeah, glad to see that coming out. Next up, November 4th, one that is exciting to me for sure. Classic Flicks and Cartoon Logic are teaming up to put out Aesop's Fables, the 1920s Volume 1. This was a Kickstarter or Indiegogo sort of release that was fundraised for a while ago. And this thing is covering from 1921 to 1928. And these are sourced from the best surviving elements, and they were archived at Blackhawk Films, who do really great with restoration stuff. I'm glad to see this is a volume 1. I hope they're able to get around to volume 2 and can get that funded as well. Some bonus stuff on here. They've got an alternate Commonwealth cut of Dinner Time and 2 Charlie Chaplin shorts by Paul's older brother, John Terry. Either way, fun looking release. I've seen some of these from way back in the day. I've not seen these in a long, long time, but these being as public domain as they have been for quite some time, you've probably seen at least clips from these. And if you don't recognize the name, or if you're listening to this on the podcast later, if you look at the art, that might spark a memory for you. But yeah, these are very classic. You've probably seen these sort of everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think I have, but I love the art, and I like those style cartoons. So yeah, this looks very good. And yeah, just that was the 20s. It's just amazing to think time. Looks like this could be a modern cartoon, and it's just amazing that it's already 100 years old. And yeah, that looks like a really cool set.
And on top of that, again, we're getting restored versions of stuff that's older than 100 years of animation. That's crazy.
And public domain too. I like that there's been more public domain titles, because like sometimes they just ignore it, but the difference in quality is night and day when you see the restorations. That looks like a cool one.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Criterion did for Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Hey, we talked about this at the beginning. Sydney Sweeney's new movie Americana is getting a Blu-ray release on October 28th from Lionsgate. Honestly, I like this enough. I might pick this one up. Good movie.
Okay.
The Saw movies. These are definitely Rachel movies. I guarantee that. October 21st.
I haven't seen them. I've just seen, I know the figure. I know the swirly guy, but I have not seen them.
The swirly guy.
But yeah, I definitely want to try one. But yeah, I have not dove into that franchise yet.
I would say the first Saw movie is not like any of the other Saw movies. It's a genuinely tense and compelling thriller, and then the other ones sort of devolve into like the torture porn type of stuff that it got to later. But yeah, it's one of my favorite franchises, so I won't say too much because I'm biased. October 21st, we are getting a 4K steelbook of Saw 2 from 2005. Not a lot to go into here. It looks like from the back cover that they posted that this is just the R-rated cut, getting a 4K version of this. From what I'm hearing, a lot of the Lionsgate titles from the 2000s, for some reason, have not been archived to be able to get the unrated versions. So for many of these, you're only going to be able to get the 4K of this because they're not going to take the time to go cut from a DVD and intercut that into the 4K scan of the OCN, because these aren't just like adding in deleted scenes. There's like 75 plus edits on some of these movies, and that is a lot of time and energy that a studio just isn't willing to do. Something like a Vinegar Syndrome or a Terrorvision or a Deaf Crocodile or like Classic Flick that we just talked about, they're willing to take the time to recut in some of that. Studios, they just don't see the money in it, unfortunately. That's
really lousy though. Like if you're a fan of that, like it would make you keep the DVDs, but yeah, if you're putting out a night, yeah, that really sucks.
It does suck, but that being said, they're still great movies. I even
Mhm.
love the theatrical versions. But the cool thing is we're going to talk about 3 of them tonight, and all 3 of them have new bonus features, which we don't even
Okay.
get from Criterion a lot of the time.
No, we do
So
not.
this one, we've got these are all 3 of these are the ones that were directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, who is from the metro area here in the Kansas City where I live. So yay, Darren Lynn Bousman. We got him speaking on looking back on these films. We've got Tobin Bell in a new interview on Saw 2, and then establishing shot with Darren Lynn Bousman and the theatrical trailer on here. These are all 3 coming on October 21st. We're going to talk about the other 2 in just a second, but this somehow came out in between these. Wellgo USA is putting out an Amazon exclusive Blu-ray and DVD of The Last Ronin from 2024. I don't think there's any extras on this. It sucks that it's an Amazon exclusive. I've heard this is okay, but let's get back to Saw again, because Saw 3 is also coming out, and again, 3 new extras. We've got Making Your Own Choices, Darren Lynn Bousman looking back. We've got Tobin Bell speaking on it, and then the trailer is available on here. And then Saw 4, same thing. We're getting a brand new Steelbook on that same day. Darren Lynn Bousman looking back, an interview with Tobin Bell, and the trailer. So yeah, really cool that all 3 of these are getting a release on the same day. I've had a lot of people ask, does this mean we're going to get a box set of all of them on 4K? Sadly, probably not, because many of the like the later Saw films, they're going to look terrible in 4K with their cheap CGI that they were forced to use. They're still good movies, and I like them, but I highly doubt that you're going to get a 4K of Saw 7 anytime soon.
How many Saw movies are there at this point?
I believe there are 10.
Okay.
10 or maybe it's even 11, because we had Spiral from the Book of Saw, which is the Chris Rock one. So yeah, I can't remember if there are 10 or 11. They're all worth watching. One of my favorites is Saw 6. It is the one that is basically a satire lampooning the U.S. healthcare system and how shitty it is, which I've had to face this week on behalf of my wife and kids. So yeah, it is really great. Sibner says there are 11 Saw films. So yeah, the Saw X.
Did not realize there were that many.
It's a ton. They were releasing them every year for like 7 years in a row. It was crazy. 10 mainline films, and then we got Spiral from the Book of Saw. Next, a film that I had not heard of until this announcement. September 29th, over in the UK, we are getting from Kaleidoscope. They are putting out The Man in the White Van on Blu-ray. This is from 2024 with Sean Astin and Ollie Larder from Final Destination and Heroes. Nothing else on this disc but the film. But looking up reviews, it sounds kind of decent. It's supposed to be tense and a good little thriller.
Yeah, it's 70s set. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Next up from this year, Pete Davidson in The Home. We're going to be talking about this one in a few minutes, so I'm going to just go real quickly on this one. Lionsgate is putting out a wide Blu-ray release of this on September 23rd, and we'll come back to that more in a moment. But first, woke up to the exciting news for those that have not picked up any of the previous 3 releases. October 14th, we are getting a 4K Alfred Hitchcock box set called The Ultimate Collection. So this has all 3 of the previously released 4K box sets from Alfred Hitchcock. And then on top of that, they also added in North by Northwest. So if you have all 3 of those box sets, this should not be compelling in any way unless you're in desperate need to save a tiny bit of space on your shelf. But other than that, this is cool because you get like a booklet with it. But you probably don't need that if you got the other 3 already. I'm assuming you're a Hitchcock.
I actually haven't upgraded mine yet. I have them all that was one of the first directors. I remember Christmas I would get a ton of them. Like that was one of the first directors where I deliberately went out to get DVDs and actually follow a director's filmography. That was he was the first one. And I think the first one I did was Rear Window, and then I went to Vertigo. And so I still have the original DVDs that I watched in elementary school, and so I've never actually upgraded it, so I love that box art, and I think there's a Blu-ray version of it too, so I probably should upgrade it because they're fantastic. And North by Northwest, I'm glad that's included because that's one of my favorites, so that looks really cool.
The big thing about Hitchcock is he is such a beloved director that he has gotten so many beautiful releases throughout the years. It's kind of hard to get excited about every new one. When they've all kind of just been very compelling. I
Mhm.
love these movies. Obviously, love him as a director. The release, I expected it to be much more expensive. I just sent this in the chat because somebody had asked. This whole thing, which it's crazy because you're getting, was it 15 films
Yeah.
on 4K and brand new on release date from Groove. This is $125. That is very cheap for 15 4K discs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really like, yeah, if you already have them, you don't need it. But if you haven't, it's the perfect collection.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a bad price at all.
No.
Speaking of re-release city, the
Yeah,
Lord
I
of
have
the Rings
already
and the
got that
Return of the
one.
King, getting its standalone 4K steelbook in let's see, October 14th, coming from Warner Brothers. This is the same 4K as before, same steelbook as before, just not stuck in the box set. So if you wanted this one by itself, there you go. This one's been talked about to death, so we're done talking about that one. The next one, we had just talked about the home, so let's dive into this one. On that same day as that Lionsgate Blu-ray, they're going to be releasing from the Lionsgate Limited site. They are doing a 4K release for the home. Now, this is the brand new 2025 Pete Davidson-led horror film. This is going to be in a paper-based digipack, so this is not one of their steelbook releases. It's got an audio commentary with the director and the producer on here. There's a making of and a trailer. Now, the movie itself, I think I've already seen at least one person in the chat saying that they want Pete Davidson to go away. I got to be honest, Pete Davidson was the best part of this movie. It's not a good movie, but Pete Davidson was not what led to that. The script was what led to that. It's a terribly written film. That being said, you might be into it, but Pete Davidson wasn't bad. Here it is, The Home. Check it out. Next up, we got some anime things to talk about. I don't know much about anime. Are you into anime at all?
No, other than
Good.
like the Hayao Miyazaki stuff, no, I definitely don't have a background.
Then I will blaze right through these. November 4th, we are getting a Blu-ray steelbook from Crunchyroll of Dragon Ball Super Brawly from 2018. I think this is just a re-release. The same art has been used on another steelbook, so check that out if you're into it. Next up, November 18th, from Crunchyroll as well, we're getting a limited release and a standard release of My Hero Academia Season 7 Part 2. And man, do they really like to exploit anime fans, because a Season 7 needs 2 parts to be released. Come on. And just this Part 2 is like $80. It's kind of crazy. So that's that one. Let's get into some of these Warner Archive releases, though. October 14th, we are getting a bunch of collections. This first one, Betty Davis. This is covering from 1938 to 1940, when she was a very busy lady. We get The Letter, Dark Victory, Jezebel, and The Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex. Tell me about Betty Davis there, Rachel.
This is a really good collection, and I'm super excited because I've been wanting to get Jezebel, and now this is the perfect excuse. Jezebel's my favorite in this set. There's a scene in that where basically, well, it's Betty Davis, and she wears the wrong colored dress to an event. It's also Henry Fonda, and it's the most iconic scene. There's always that one scene in a Betty Davis movie, like with The Letter. It's the opening scene where she comes out with a gun right away, and like before the movie even starts, it just like right gets into action mode. The Letter's the only one I have. Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex is a really good one. It's not like one of the stuffy period dramas. It's really good. It's her, Errol Flynn. Yeah, that one's fantastic. And the only one I haven't seen at all is Dark Victory, but I'm definitely picking this up because, like I said, I was just so happy. I've been wanting to get Jezebel. It's been on my list forever, and now it's like, excuse, I'm getting this.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a good, like I said, I don't know Dark Victory, but the other three alone, it's a good set, especially if you don't have any of these.
Yeah, and that's probably should say for these collections, because I know a lot of people over the years have become, we'll say, trepidatious about film collections like this. Warner Archive is not about you being worried. So these releases, these are the exact same discs as the single releases. They're not including anything new necessarily, but these are great starter packs if you don't have any of them. Yeah, it does get a little dicey. Like if you've got 2 of them, this might be a good buy still because of the price. So we'll get into that in just a second. But you don't have to worry. Like they're not putting all 4 of these on one disc or anything. These are the exact same authored discs that were done previously as standalone discs. So this is a full 4-disc set. You got nothing to worry about there. The big draw here is this is going to be pretty cheap. When this comes out on pre-order, this is probably only going to be like $32. And for 4 highly acclaimed films starring Betty frickin' Davis, that is incredible for like good restorations, for good not compressed discs. You're going to be quite happy with that. And when we start talking about some of these other ones, it's a lot of the same. You're going to be getting a lot of discs for a lot of really great films, and it's hard to argue with. The only part that sucks is if you've already got some or even one of these movies, you're like, well, damn it, like I got to buy the same movie. Just gift it to a friend. And yes, Craig, these are full releases. I know you love that phrase. I'm going to use that every time now. Full releases, full release. Here we go. Next up, 6 film collection of the great Judy Garland. And God, some big time movies in this one. We've got Strike Up the Band, Girl Crazy, Meet Me in St. Louis, In the Good Old Summertime, Summer Stock, and this little heard of movie called A Star Is Born. Are you a Judy Garland fan?
Yeah, it's my mom's favorite actress. I'm definitely a fan. And I think the unsung film, like, of course, there are like the classics, A Star Is Born and Meet Me in St. Louis are probably the strongest films of it. Summer Stock isn't the best movie, but has some of the most iconic music numbers. So like you can't skip it because it has Come On Get Happy, which they put on the cover because like it's not a great plot, but it's the music numbers are great. But to me, the unsung one is Girl Crazy, which I only recently saw, and it's this great music number. I don't remember what it's called, but where like they do this like whole country song, and like there's this choreography where they lean, and I think that's the one, the unsung one. A lot of the Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland ones aren't always the strongest. I know one of them has blackface in it, so there are some flaws, but that one is the one that I don't think like people might already own the others. And like I said, you said if you already own them, and I have a good amount, so this one probably isn't worth it. I just need to get Girl Crazy on as a standalone one day. But that one is, I think, the one that no one's going to be talking about, but that's my favorite on this set. Well, actually, Meet Me in St. Louis is a classic. It's like sometimes it gets talked about so much that you forget. Well, yeah, there's a reason for it. Yeah, but this is a good collection, especially if you don't have it.
I think this is the one that gets me the most, what I was just talking about, where you already have some. I think I already have 3 of these, and I've wanted the other 3, and now it's like, well, gosh dang it, like, this is still the perfect way to do these, and this is probably going to come out at, I don't know, like $45-$50, and that's a great deal, but like for you, if you're only missing one of these, perhaps somebody's going to buy this and sell that one disc that you need, and maybe that price will be cheaper, so that's great, but gosh, it does suck when you've got some of them, because this is one I would love to own. If the Pirate
was on this, I wouldn't have been able to resist it, because that's one I've been wanting to upgrade, and I love the Pirate. But I think that's really the only one I need. And like I don't have Strike Up a Band, but I probably don't need that one. But yeah, I'll probably just get Girl Crazy on its own, but it's still a good set.
This comment is so perfect. Gary says, clang, 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 went my interest. Oh, perfect. Man. Big Disc says, A Star Is Born is one of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion. I can watch it forever, as you should. As you should. We got more of these coming. First, we've got, a really great 6-film set here. This, again, same day. All of these are coming on October 14th. This is the Hollywood Legends of Horror collection. And this has The Devil Doll, Dr. X, Mad Love, Mark of the Vampire, The Mask of Fu Manchu, and The Return of Dr. X, which is not a sequel to Dr. X. It's a very different thing. Great set. Any of these that you want to shout out or highlight?
Yeah, I have 5 of the 6 I will not be getting. The only one I don't have is the Fu Manchu one. But
that's probably the least of these.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not getting it just for that one. But yeah, this is I haven't watched The Return of Dr. X. I'm saving that for October. But I do have it. Mad Love, Peter Lorre, fantastic. If you're a John Huston fan, and like Under Volcanoes coming out on Blu-ray soon, it's referenced a lot in that, so it's a fun double feature. Dr. X is probably my favorite on the set. It's like one of the first 2-strip Technicolor film. It's fantastic, and that's with Lee Tracy too, who I adore. And Devil Doll is really good too, with Lionel Barrymore, and that's probably the weirdest one. Like with people getting shrunken down, and there's like weird mad scientist stuff going on. That one's like that one's really good. And like I said, Mark of the Vampire isn't my favorite. I'm more of a Christopher Lee than a Bela Lugosi Dracula fan. But yeah, this is, if you don't have these, and especially before Halloween, this is a great set.
I think one of my favorite comments that I got on social media this week is somebody put a comment and laughed and said, "I can't believe you made Peter Lorre his own hashtag." I always try to do that for some of these because you never know who's out there looking for Peter Lorre, and this is a really great set. Obviously, it's not a ton of Peter Lorre, but I mean, this is a really great Peter Lorre film. So yeah, check it out.
It is, and every Peter Lorre is a great Peter Lorre film.
Touche.
Like Radiance, Radiance's recent release with a Peter Lorre film, the One of the World ones, also hugely recommend. It's like the only one he ever directed. I just got to watch that recently. I forget what the title was, but it's a 3-film set. That's fantastic. Well, it's Peter Lorre. A much more serious. This is more fun, crazy Peter Lorre mode. But yeah, another great one.
Yeah, if you don't have any of these, this is great. Yeah. Next up is The Bad Guys 2 from this year, getting a 4K Blu-ray and DVD release from Universal on October 7th. This is kind of an odd thing. We don't normally go into details on some of these, but I really wanted to highlight, like, this is doing pretty damn well in the theater, and it's still active in the theater, and they've already announced a VOD and a disc release, but supposedly for animation, that doesn't matter, and they're still like all about it, and they make a lot of money. I don't know. I'm not Universal, so whatever. This is going to have a Dolby Atmos track, HDR10 on the disc. We had a feature commentary with the crew behind this. There's an animated short that played with this called Little Lies and Alibis. So there's deleted scenes. There's a bunch of different featurettes, making of, all kinds of stuff. I have not seen this one yet, but I will say, the first Bad Guys movie is surprisingly really great. I've heard this one's even better, and I definitely want to check this out. My kid saw it, and he said he loved it. So I'm going to need to get this one so that we can watch it together. But awesome. Yeah, check it out. I like new animation.
Yeah.
Next up, I am still trying to figure out some of the details behind this one, but November 11th, we're getting a Blu-ray and DVD release here in the US from Rustblade Records, and sort of all over the world at the same time from Rustblade as well, of The Killer Must Kill Again from 1975. This is Luigi Cozzi's cult giallo thriller, The Killer Must Kill Again. It's a complete restored 50th anniversary edition of this film. It's got a booklet and 3 postcards if you buy the deluxe edition. If you just buy the regular Blu-ray, it's much cheaper, so you're not getting that booklet and postcards, but you're literally saving like $15, so it might be worth it to not get the booklet and postcards. So just a heads up there. This is supposedly great. I've been wanting to see this one for years and not been able to get a decent release. I think this had a Mondo Macabro DVD years ago, if I remember right. I think it did. But it's been a long time, and I can't remember if I ever saw that DVD or not. I need to check it out. We've got an interesting story here, though, is this is being shipped out of Italy. If you go to their website, it looks like they're headquartered in Italy, but MVD is distributing it in the US, but it's also coming out like all over the world at the same time through the same company. So they got to have worldwide rights, and I don't know much else behind it. But if you look on their website, they've got like everything Luigi Cozzi. So I'm kind of wondering, is he associated with this label? He still does stuff. He might he might be associated with the label. He's in Italy. It's possible that he's got it. Yeah. Jim is asking, is this a reputable label? From what I can tell, yes. They're distributing through MVD, so they are a real thing. They've got a contract in place for distribution. And this is not even their first release. They've done some stuff before. So, yeah, check it out. I'm curious about this one. What about Giallo? Are you into Giallo stuff?
I do like some. I've the Dario Argento, Tenebrae, Suspiria. Yeah, I haven't seen this one. I know George Hilton is in some of the great ones. I liked him in a Western, Massacre Time from the Arrow one. That's one of the spaghetti Western. So that name immediately stood out, and I know he's done some of the great giallos. So yeah, I would be interested in it, but I don't know anything about Luigi Cozzi or anything, but it looks interesting anyway.
Yeah, sure does. Next up, some more anime. November 25th, we're getting a Blu-ray Steelbook from Crunchyroll of Attack on Titan, the complete final season. Check that out. You can pre-order it now. A music release. We've got September 26th, a Blu-ray and 4 CD box set coming of Whitesnake Forevermore. The big thing, you've got all these CDs coming with it. You got remixes, original remasters, alternate mixes, and all this other stuff. But then the Blu-ray, all kinds of stuff here. We got a bunch of promo videos that they did. We've got some live performances. We've got some other different featurettes and behind the scenes and a 60-page booklet, all kinds of stuff. If you're into Whitesnake, they've done a few of these releases, and this looks pretty legendary. I mean, if you're into the music, this looks great. Next up is Suspicion. Speaking of Apple TV stuff that nobody has seen, that's probably really good. September 22nd, we're getting a Blu-ray release over in the UK from Fifth Season. This is the production company that made the show of Suspicion Season 1. This is starring Uma Thurman, Georgina Campbell, Kunal Nayyar. I've heard this is, again, just like everything else from Apple TV. I've heard this is good. I'll never see it because I don't have Apple TV. But check it out. Next up is a Kickstarter that's happening right now. This just launched for a documentary called Fantasy Rising. This is a new feature documentary charting the extraordinary rise of the fantasy genre from campfire folktales to billion-dollar global franchises. If you are worried about getting your stuff for this, because I know Kickstarters can be sort of iffy for some people, if you have not gotten items before, or you felt like you've been screwed over by one that you've backed 6 years ago and you're still waiting for a shipment or something, this is all done. They are just raising money for like some back-end production and being able to put this out. You can check it out and you'll be able to see this soon from what it sounds like. They've got some stretch goals that they're going to put into place. It looks like a pretty decent release if you're into fantasy. Is fantasy a genre that you're super into?
I love Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. I was the 5th grader who was carrying around the big like 3-in-1 book set. I loved those movies. I watched. That was like one of my first PG-13 movies. Like I adore those films. Fantasy in general. Yeah, Game of Thrones. I watched that all. Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe. The one title that we will not talk about because of its horrible author. But yeah, I definitely. I would be interested in that documentary, absolutely.
I'd love to know, what is that one title? I'm just kidding. I know exactly what it is.
Not in the news at all.
Not in the news every single freaking day.
Yeah,
for good and bad reasons, in a way. Let's not. She deserves no attention and will not be getting any more attention from me for any reason whatsoever. So that is Fantasy Rising. Check it out. The same person that did this documentary has done a couple others, and they're all supposedly decent. Speaking of people that are not controversial in any way, October 28th, there is a 4K and Blu-ray release coming here in the U.S. of Richard Stanley's Dust Devil from 1992. Kino Lorber announced this title, and it is getting a new HDR Dolby Vision master from a 4K scan of the OCN, new commentary from Richard Stanley on the director's cut, and then on the Blu-ray, it is going to have the director's cut as well. You've also got some archival stuff, including Dust Devil and Other Misadventures, a 2006 interview with some contributions by the composer, original storyboards, Polaroids, all that other stuff. But if this is somehow something that you look at and say, this is great, but not enough Dust Devil, Umbrella said, you know what? Hold my beer, Kino. Let's announce this crazy 4K release of Dust Devil coming from Umbrella on December 3rd in Australia. And if that Kino one wasn't enough, good Lord. 100-plus page hardback book with never-before-seen behind-the-scenes experiences, original continuity Polaroids, and art from Richard Stanley, plus new essays by Jim Morton and David Michael Brown. Another 100-plus page softback book with parts of the Dust Devil script, storyboards, and shooting diary. Custom designed books using pre-production artwork and posters. You've got the same hard box that they do, and it's limited and numbered and all that fun stuff. But nay, they said that's still not enough. Let's make this a crazy 3-disc release. You've got the 4K disc of the director's and the theatrical cut both coming. Exclusive new commentary with Richard Stanley, another new commentary with Bryn Tilley and Richard Kuipers, a commentary from 2006 with Richard Stanley, moderated by Norman Hill, new director's cut original Dust Devil storyboard overlay. And then essentially the second disc is exactly the same as that, but on Blu-ray. And then the third disc includes all kinds of archival stuff, tons of stuff. If you love Richard Stanley, first of all, that's weird. And if you love Richard Stanley, this is probably going to be the cut of the film that you want because it's got everything. So go check out Umbrella. Yes, it is going to be a little pricey to ship worldwide, but that's why you just wait and get a couple titles and you don't pay for shipping and you get free shipping. It is totally worth it, and it's all about it. Umbrella and Imprint, they always get their standard releases, at least in the U.S. retailers. So if you're holding out, I bet you'll be able to get this from somebody like a Diabolic or Orbit. So hang out and check out a great release. Richard Stanley, are you into Dust Devil?
No, I mean, I like Robert Burke. He was in the Hal Hartley film, one of the returning cast members, so I do like Robert Burke. I'll focus on the positive. I love what Umbrella and Umbrella has been doing lately with their releases. Like, I know Criterion's putting out Eyes Without a Face on 4K, but I think Umbrella's is better because the box art, and I think they actually put in new bonus features versus I think the Criterion is just to carry the same bonus features from the DVD just now in the 4K release. I just love that they've really embraced like these box what they're called, the outside box. Yes, okay,
from Umbrella.
Yeah, I want that release. The Criterion one, of course, is the easier one to get, but that had I think more video essays. I like what they did with it more. But I love that they're getting into that game. Like all their releases now are just beautiful, and I like that they're doing the booklet essays more. Will not be getting this one, but I like the spirit of what the company's doing, just not this one.
Richard Stanley.
And he's the direct involvement in the release too makes me also like, no.
I get it. Let's not get into it, but let's get into Indicator putting out Columbia Noir number 7. Dear God. This is coming on November 17th on Blu-ray only in the UK. This is a UK only release. This is going to include A Prize of Gold, The Last Man to Hang, Wicked as They Come, Spin a Dark Web, The Long Haul, and Fortune is a Woman. Across the 6 films in this box set, you're going to find all kinds of great sounding stories. But what about this are you excited about?
The only one I've seen on it is The Long Haul, which I think that's supposed to be Diana Dors on the cover, and so that's the only one I've seen. That's like in the same genre if you like They Drove All Night, which won an archive release recently, or all the trucker movies that show what a shitty job that is. And also there's a Stanley Baker one that's really good, Hell Drivers. All the titles make the job sound really fun. That one I think is one of the weaker ones, but overall I find those movies great. The one I'm most excited about is Prize of Gold because I'm a huge Richard Widmark fan. I think it's an army film, so I prefer him in very in villain mode or noirs, like Night in the City is probably my favorite, but I've never heard of that Richard Widmark before, so that's the one that I'm most excited about. And all the others besides The Long Haul I'm not familiar with, but that's what makes it exciting. And plus their box sets are amazing, and if you only want one later, at least you know they're going to get released once it sells out on standalone. So if there's only one title you want, I like that you don't even have to worry. Well, like with Imprint, like sometimes they re-release it in the standard edition and sometimes they don't. It's like that up in the air. But with Indicator, you know you can wait if you want, but their box sets are beautiful. Great packaging, ship's always great. So this is a great set.
On top of that, the main thing I always champion about Indicator is their extras. And we talked about this at the beginning, about this release specifically, but there are multiple commentaries on here for most of the movies. There are interviews, and it's really interesting to see, because of like the BFI and a couple of the other organizations over in the UK that are all about archiving like audio interviews and video recorded interviews from the last 30 years that they've done for TV or for special events. there are a wealth of things that when you put out a release like this, you can just go into their archives and look up a filmmaker and say, oh, there's these 9 things. Let's grab these 3 to put on the disc because that's what we have room for. Or, let's get something for every single filmmaker that's associated with this. So you're getting interviews from 2008, 93, 91, new features that they're working on as well. There are conversations, there are short films, there are all kinds of stuff that there's so much it literally would not even fit in this Instagram post because of the freaking character count requirement. But on top of all that, 120-page book with new essays. Like, if you love these type of movies, these indicator box sets are legendary because they're really well curated, really well put together.
Yeah, just as a nitpick, I wish with like the BHP interviews, they always they're usually audio only, and they'll play it over the feature, even though it has nothing to do with the feature. And sometimes I wish, like, even if it's just a photo collage or just a standalone image, just because it just like gets confusing. Like, okay, how long is the actual interview? Sometimes the clash of the image not matching what's being talked about. I think it's great that they're included, and if that's the only way they can be included, of course, go for it. But I wish sometimes they would just, even if it's just one image the whole time while they're talking. Like I said, if it's a matter of losing it or keeping it, keep it this way. But it's not my favorite setup that they always do.
I agree with you. Yeah, it should be even like a poster montage.
Yeah.
Something like that would make a lot more sense.
Because they usually have a photo gallery, so just put it over the photo gallery.
It's a lot less distracting that way, that's for sure. All right, so next is one of the bigger deals of this week. Over in France, which we don't normally cover a lot of French releases because for some reason they're like allergic to English subtitles in France. I try to keep this to English-friendly only releases for the show and for the announcements on social media. So this one does have English subtitles on some things because this is a silent film. November 4th, we are getting a 4K and Blu-ray release over in France from Potemkin of Napoleon as seen by Abel Gance. This is from 1927, and this is the 7-hour cut of Napoleon. This is going to be a Digipack 5-fold case with the rigid cardboard box, 2 4K discs, 3 Blu-ray discs. This is going to have a book that is likely only in French, sadly. This is going to have a booklet with the list of music that was used for the soundtrack. There's some documentaries and some extras on here. However, the reality is the extras are likely not subtitled in English. I don't have confirmation on that yet, but I think that is the case. The film itself does have like some inner titles and stuff that's used, and those have been subtitled in English. So you can watch this all 7 hours if you are an English speaker, and will probably love this. This is going to sell very well for them. That being said, it is quite expensive. So check it out if you're into it. But this is an astonishing, important release for a lot of people. I've still never seen this. I'm certainly interested in seeing it. That being said, it's like a day to watch this. And I don't even, if I bought this, I don't even know how I could schedule a time to watch this.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it, and that it was 7 hours. No, I realized I saw this release, and I knew it was a silent film, but I did not realize it was a 7-hour movie. It's probably amazing.
It's had many cuts and different scores over the years. There's like a 4-hour cut. There's a 7-hour cut. I think there's even one longer than that.
Okay.
But the big thing is there are some legendary pictures of how this was originally projected, actually, where they used these 3 different projectors to do the one film. It was like extra widescreen essentially, and I believe the restoration for this does have, and it does say the triple screen is listed here, so I believe that is included, which is mind-blowing. I'm stoked on that. All right, that's Napoleon as seen by Abel Gance. We got one more that slipped through my fingers and I didn't see it first, but we also are getting from Warner Archive a Joan Crawford collection. This one's spanning a much larger time frame than the other ones. This is 1932 to 1950, and we get Grand Hotel, The Damned Don't Cry, The Women, and Possessed. And man, I feel like this is a special one for you.
Yeah. Well, Crawford's my favorite. Like, I know there's the war between Betty Davis and Crawford. Crawford's my girl. She'll always be my favorite. This is kind of an odd set, like, versus the Betty Davis one was like, those are all 4. And I mean, these are, if you don't own them, like the Betty Davis one was a short thing. These are not like the quintessential Crawford movies. I mean, The Woman is a great movie, but it's great because it's an ensemble cast. Same with Grand Hotel. Like, I feel like that's more. Actually, I think Crawford is the best character in Grand Hotel, but it's most famous for I Want to Be Alone with Garbo. So it's just a kind of an odd collection. I know I've seen The Damn Don't Cry. I don't specifically remember it. I mean, the one that actually is really good is Possessed, which it's confusing because there are two Possessed that Joan Crawford did. They have nothing to do with each other, but that one's actually really good. Again, I don't remember the exact details, but yeah, it's more of a. I mean, Grand Hotel and The Women are huge movies, but just under the title Joan Crawford set, it's not, to me, the quintessential title. So this is not as good a mix as the Bette Davis one was.
But still good movies, and if you don't have any of them,
especially
still a great
Possessed.
pickup.
That's the one that I feel like is the. Well, actually, no, the one that's the most unfamous is Damn Don't Cry. But Possessed is really good, and it is. I'm not always a Rand Heflin fan, but that was it's a good one. And again, I don't remember the details. Yeah, none of these are the ones that I would name as her best, but you should see Grand Hotel. You should see The Women. It's just not specifically Crawford.
Right. Which makes total sense. I'm sure they just had to get these out for some reason, and here it is. You can get all of them in one fairly inexpensive collection, which is great. Yeah. All right, we got about a handful left to cover tonight. Nobody 2, we talked about this one early in the show. There's a Walmart exclusive 4K steelbook coming. You can pre-order this now. Decent movie. Sharon Stone is in it. RZA's still in it. Christopher Lloyd's in it. Good time. Check it out. More music. Peter Gabriel, Taking the Pulse, coming out on Blu-ray from Mercury Studios on October 10th. You can check out the track listing here. Just reading the story behind this one. This one is interesting. If you're a Peter Gabriel fan, you probably know all about it. But,
I do. I like him. I mean, if you're a fan of The Americans, his music got played all the time on the TV show The Americans. So yeah, I do like Peter Gabriel. Do I want to watch a movie? Possibly not, but I do like his music.
I get that. Speak No Evil, the James McAvoy starring film from 2024, the US remake, is coming on a 4K steelbook over in the UK from Universal Pictures. It's got all the bonus features that we've been seeing passed around for this movie. I do like the look of the steelbook. That being said, didn't love the movie. It's decent. Okay. James McAvoy's crazy in it. But I still prefer the original, and we still need an English-friendly Blu-ray release of it. Dang it. Come on, give it to us.
Yeah.
Next up, Severance. Not the show, the film Severance from 2006, getting a 4K release from Icon Film Distribution. This is coming over in the UK on October 20th. Have you seen this movie? I've not seen this movie.
No, I haven't. Never actually, other than the TV show, but not
I've heard this one's good. This is directed by Christopher Smith, and I believe this also got an umbrella release, but only on Blu-ray. And this has 3.5 hours of bonus features. You got new interviews on here as well that are not on the umbrella release. You got art cards and all kinds of stuff. Looks like a good release of a movie I need to see. I've heard this one is good.
Yeah.
Next up, New Wave Video, the newest boutique label out of Australia, already announcing their third spine. This one is interesting because we don't have a release date on it. They just wanted to keep the hype going on their stuff. This is coming on Blu-ray in late 2025 or 2026, early in the year. We don't know when. It'll be later this year or early next year. This is how do you... Let's see. What words do I use here to not get banned on everything? This is a hentai film, anime porn, essentially, called Oratsukidoji, The Perfect Collection. This is going to have all kinds of stuff that is on the discotheque releases. The first volume came out last year. The rest of it is coming later this year from discotheque. And now you've got a release coming with all kinds of new special features. It looks like it's going to be, I believe, the same restorations that discotheque has used. And this looks pretty incredible. If this is something that you're into, personally, this looks like it's going to blow the discotheque releases out of the water.
Yeah, I think Michelle is involved in this one, right? I think I saw her that she has in the booklet essay. So that wouldn't have been necessarily a film, but because she's involved, I would be interested. Just if she likes it, that's a stamp of that I pay attention to.
I think, if I'm remembering right, I think Philip Jeffries is also involved in this one,
Okay.
another friend of the channel. So yeah, this is one I would not have probably considered getting this
Yeah.
version, but I may now, especially to support John, who's running the
Yeah.
label. Which, by the way, interview getting posted soon on the channel with John to talk about, well, John and his wife who run the label together. I need to stop saying John and his wife and remember her name because I have not met her yet. And we're doing our interview tomorrow. That'll be up on the channel in the next couple weeks. But yeah, excited to talk about this new label in Australia and stoked on what they're doing. Yeah, I can't believe the amount of incredible things they're picking up for a new label. This is pretty big.
Yeah.
Next, another Australian release. Via Vision is putting out a 4K release on October 29th of the Divergent series, a series of films that I've seen nothing from.
Me neither. I was a Maze Runner girl. I think they came out at the same time. I went for the Maze Runner movies. This was not the ones I watched.
I've not seen Maze Runner either. Are those good?
In a hilarious way.
Okay.
Like, there's this one guy who just wears a scarf for no reason, and I called him Scarf Guy. And I do like Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien's great.
Aidan Gillen's, I think, in like the sequel as one of the villains, of course, because he usually plays the villain. And he's one of my faves. So in a fun way, are they classics of cinema? No, and I haven't revisited them in a while. But I think they came out around the same time, and that was the trilogy that I decided to invest time in, not this one.
Yeah, so if you love this series, this is a stacked disc set. You've got 7 discs, 3 4K discs, 3 Blu-ray discs of the films, and then a full Blu-ray disc of a bunch of special features. Lots of stuff in here. Lenticular hard case box. I don't even know what to say. This is limited to a max of 2,000 units. Check it out if you're into it. That's a lot. And then the next one coming on the same day, October 29th, 310 to Yuma, the 2007 film, getting a 4K and Blu-ray 3D lenticular hard case from Via Vision. This is going to be individually numbered, limited to a max of 2,000 units again. No new special features on this one, but I actually really like this movie. Have you seen this one?
No, but I do love the original with Glenn Ford. I don't know if you've seen that one. That's a Criterion one. I do love the original. And I heard that this is one of the better remakes. So I have not seen this one. But yeah, the original is fantastic.
I like this one more than the original,
okay.
I think. It's pretty damn good. I got to be honest, Russell Crowe and Christian Bale are very good. I think this is very good. Interesting poster art. I don't remember seeing this poster that they're using on the cover here. So
it doesn't
nice to
really say 310. To me, like that could be any guy back. So to me, it doesn't really scream specifically this West. That could be any Western. Put the title on. Okay, that's the cover art.
They likely did not get likeness rights for new art. That's why they had to go with that.
Yeah.
I think this is the last thing. Yeah, this is the last post to talk about tonight, and this is not a physical media release, but this is a very selfish post for me and the Kansas City area. My favorite movie theater in the area is Screenland Armor, who they've gotten a name for themselves. They host Panic Fest every year. They're doing something incredibly interesting and really cool, and they're doing a little bit of a fundraiser for it. I just wanted to highlight this because, man, they could use some help because this is so exciting. They are announcing that they're trying to do what they can to bring back 35 millimeter and 70 millimeter film projection here in Kansas City. I've not heard of many theaters saying it's 2025. Let's bring film to the theater. And I love that they're doing it. It is quite expensive to do this. It is literally around $100,000 to retrofit that in for everything. It is intense that they're willing to do that, but to earn the money for this, they're offering people perks like cheaper tickets. If you're going to be here, they are offering discounts on like snacks and all that stuff, gift cards, but some other really fun things like Film 101. They are teaching film classes. They are working to focus on things that people remotely can also benefit in. So check out the website. It is screenland.com/film. And there might be some ways for you to donate there. But the other side of that right now, There is a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm not going to get into like local politics much because this affected me in the last year quite drastically. But they are fighting right now for a property tax increase. Their tax assessment by the county brought back an increase of 409% to what they owed in property taxes since 2020. And the county is like, yeah, screw you. It's legitimate. So they are going all the way up to the state tax commission to fight that. It is crazy what is happening, but they just wanted to throw out there that they're facing a lot of things from all kinds of different angles. And if you feel so inclined, they could really use the support. The communities come out and voted year after year that they are by far the best theater in the Kansas City area. And if you're local, if you are ever going to be in the area, or if you just want to support a theater that is small, indie, and going back to film, this is a really great way to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Just in case you forgot, what is coming out next week? We are getting the Arrow 2003 4K release of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. You also get the Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning 4K release. Monty Python and the Holy Grail 4K Steelbook from Sony. City on Fire 4K from Shout finally coming out. Aaron Brockovich 4K coming out from the studio. The Rundown 4K from Kino Lorber. Deathstalker and Deathstalker 2 4K from Shout Factory. But I'm a Cheerleader 4K Amazon exclusive from Lionsgate. The Conjuring 4K Steelbook. There's that Get Carter 4K that we talked about earlier there from Warner Archive. The High Tension box from Severin is getting a wide release this next week. Scoop from Kino Lorber, Lilo and Stitch 4K Steelbook, the live action remake, unfortunately, from Disney. Frankenstein's Bloody Terror in 3D from Kino Lorber. There is that Huckleberry Hound show from Warner Archive. The Karate Kid Ultimate 6 Film 4K Collection, if you're into that. The Materialist from A24. They Call Her Death, since we were just talking about Kansas City. The director
That looked really cool. I watched the trailer. I haven't seen that one, but that one had my eye, yeah.
He's local to the metro area. He lives in Lawrence, Kansas. He's about 45 minutes away from me. Seven Women from Warner Archive. Save the Tiger from Kino Lorber. Saving Face from Criterion. Odd Job from Severin is getting its wide release. The Hard Way from Warner Archive. The Ghost of Peter Sellers, by the way, super cheap on Amazon right now. If you were after that one, very, very inexpensive. Intruder in the Dust Blu-ray from Warner Archive.
That's really good.
Is it? I've not seen it. The cover is something I
feel
like
it's
I've seen
one of those. It deals with race and kind of like a To Kill a Mockingbird type movie, and like it's
nice.
A hard watch in a sense because it's not like it's not the same noble characters as Gregory Peck. It has the right mindset, but it like shows the main characters making bad choices, but then learning from it and like not being perfect. Like it's not like the Gregory Peck, Atticus Finch always doing the right thing. They don't always do the right thing, so sometimes it's hard to watch in just that mindset. But it's a very good classic that is unfortunately still very relevant right now.
Yeah. Next up is the Emergency, the complete series Blu-ray coming out. Negatives Blu-ray from Severin. The Larry Cohen Mystery and Misdirection box set from Shout Studios, which I'm still kind of iffy about. Invasion USA from Filmmasters, a release that I've been looking forward to for a while. Vermiglio from Criterion. We've got Arbor Day 4K shipping here soon from TerraVision here in the next couple weeks. Sledgehammer as well shipping from TerraVision here soon. That Midnight Kiss from Warner Archive. Doriana Gray fully canceled. That is going to be coming from Delirium again and some other weird release. We don't know yet, but it'll be happening eventually. Baby Assassins 3 from Wellgo USA. Definitely getting that one myself. Smoke and Blue in the Face from Kino Lorber. Psycho Beach Party is coming out again, getting a nice re-release. And let's see, that's most of it. King Kung Fu getting its public domain release. Invader shipping from TerraVision here soon. And that is it. You've got a couple of these on the way. Any of these others that you're going to be going?
They Call Her Satan, I'm definitely interested in. That's the main, and other than the ones we already talked about. That pretty much covers it, probably for me. But yeah, there's some good titles there.
It is about to be a dangerous time. Every week now, for like the next 3.5 months, there are so many releases coming out that it is just an absolutely crazy time. If you are collecting from certain labels, there's a lot that you're going to have your eyes on. If you're collecting certain franchises, there's a lot coming out. If you're collecting Steelbooks, there's a lot coming out. If you're collecting every Warner archive, they're doing more titles than ever. There's just so much. But it's an exciting time.
Their October slate is usually the best one.
Nice.
I don't know what will be. Yeah.
And then, I mean, October from Criterion looks great. October from all these labels is going to be crazy. But now we got a complete conversation to have about wardrobes and film. So why'd you want to talk about this? Because this is exciting.
I was kind of a random one, but I feel like it's one of those like internet prompts that you see like on social media sometimes, like, oh, what wardrobes, and you just see the photos, and it just was like kind of a fun random one that like you just watch a movie and it's like I overthought everything with it because it's like sometimes you know when you're watching the movie, oh, I love these clothes, but then when you're trying to remember it later, and I did not pick I picked some deep cut titles that are probably too specific. I tried to think of a mainstream title. They're not mainstream, so I'll put that disclaimer right now. But yeah, it just was a random title, and I was glad that you thought it was clever. And yeah, I just like clothes, and because I watch old movies too, I like older fashions, and yeah, it's just fun to imagine having all my budget's going towards Blu-ray, not clothes, but it's fun to imagine that I could wear some of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really fun topic because it's something that it gets recognized during the Oscars, but I feel like it's something that gets forgotten fairly quickly. Like it's not something that people are focusing on. It's not something that you hear, like there's not a lot of articles written about it. They do exist, but there's not a ton of them. This is going to be a fun topic because we're going to talk about the movies. We're going to talk about the characters themselves, what we like about the fashion choices and all that. But all right, let's start with yours. Am I going 1 through 5 or 5 through 1?
5 through 1, yeah.
5 through 1. So we went the above and beyond, and we're going to share some pictures so it's not just you imagining in your mind. Here is your number 5. Tell us about this choice.
All right, we've been talking a lot about Warner Archive tonight. This is let me grab my discs. This is a Warner Archive title, Esther Williams, which I am a sucker for. They're cheesy, but Esther Williams rocks. If you know anything about her, she wrote an amazing memoir where she tells all and like how the crazy things she went through because she's the actress who was the only one doing all the water stuff, but they put her. I mean, I think she was pregnant sometimes doing these dives. I think she broke her back one time doing all these stunts, and it was her doing them, and she's amazing. It's a great book if you're looking for like an old Hollywood memoir to read. She's one who actually shared and didn't just gloss over things. But Bathing Beauty is the ones these costumes are from, and I'm especially obsessed with that pinstripe suit because it's not even, it's a green and pink pinstripe suit. Then later on you realize it has a hood or a scarf. I'm not sure. It's just all of a sudden she's outside and it has a hood. I don't know where it came from. If it's a separate piece, it's an amazing outfit. I just think she's classy and cool. You could really pick any of her movies. The best one plot-wise is Dangerous When Wet, which is the one that has the famous when she's swimming with Tom and Jerry, or not Tom, just Jerry. But it has that famous segment, but it's also just the best storyline. This one is with Red Skelton, who is annoying, but not as annoying as he is in another Esther Williams one that I can't remember, but it's also whatever other Esther Williams one with Red Skelton that Warner Archive released, he almost ruins it because he like hands up everything, but he's bearable in this one, and it's just all her movies are a fun time. They're beautiful color. She's a cool lady. I really mostly want that suit. Or it's not even a suit. It's like a one piece outfit. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I've always loved that outfit, and it stuck in my brain.
This is a hell of a choice. Immediately, eyes drawn to the whole left side of the screen here. The way that
I tried to get every angle of the
it's
outfit.
so good. It's such a great piece. It's striking.
Yeah.
The picture that you've got in the middle top here. I mean, she pulls
Oh, and that's
every
the
square
one
inch
in
of
the
this off.
gray outfit. She's roasting marshmallows in that outfit, which is the most random activity to be doing. And the costumes, I should have said, they're by Irene, who is, if you watch old Hollywood films, she comes up a lot. Yeah, they're beautiful. And even just like the top right corner is this beach coverall, which I wish like that'd be fun to wear to the beach. You do not see that these days. Yeah, it's all color, and which I think is some of my favorite movies to see restored. It's just how bright the colors get, and yeah, I love her in general, but this is a particularly great for that aesthetic reason.
Just an incredible choice to kick things off. Love that. I've purposefully not looked at all of yours. I just saved the files so that I would be surprised.
Yeah.
And man, that's a really great choice. And now I'm self-conscious about all 5 of my choices because man, they are not as interesting as that. So my first one, I this is one of the movies in the last 5 or 6 years that I walked away going, God damn it, where can I buy what he was just wearing? And I don't really think like that often, but my first choice is Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin. And
Okay.
the choices here are because this stuff just looks so damn cozy. Like
It does.
the blue sweater in the bottom left, it is like this really plush knit sweater, and everything is so it's like timeless designs, but when you look at them up close, they're very ornate. They're clearly very complex materials that he's using here, but they look cozy, they look interesting, they look warm. I know it's August and a lot of us are hot as hell outside right now, but I am for some reason freezing in this room, and I just putting this together for the show, I was like, man, I would love to just be warm, just chilling on the beach in Ireland, wearing like these frumpy, freaking wonderful sweaters. And the only thing that that took me out of any of these pictures is I want to highlight what is going on with his eyebrows on the bottom middle.
That was actually my favorite. I love that.
It is so funny. Yeah, these are really great. And again, not like anything complex or anything looking, but when you look, the quality is clearly
Quality is huge. Yeah.
very personal, very like heavy material in a way that you just go, damn, somebody put their time into these pieces. All right, so that's my first one. Very curious to see what you go with next. So your last one was number 5. Number 4 for you. Oh gosh, I see the preview in my little window here. This looks interesting. Here's number 4. Tell us about it.
All right. Another pattern. I just picked cool actresses basically that I think are awesome, and I want to dress like them. And Rami Schneider definitely qualifies. This is Max and the Junkman, which is a French film. Kino released it. It's a really good thriller, and she plays. It's also Michelle Piccoli. I think that's how you say it, and would be the French way of pronouncing it. But it's a really good movie. Actually, she did quite a few films with the director, Claude Sauté. All of them are good. This is my personal favorite. But they, I think, at least did 3 films together. And it's basically a crime thing where Michelle Piccoli plays this cop who wants to catch these bank robbers and basically manipulates everybody so that they'll put on another bank robbery. And she plays the girlfriend of one of the main robbers. They're not even planning a robbery. He like kind of tricks them into, hey, this bank would be a great place to rob. So he's a little bit of a shit, but he's a really good actor. But I just love the colors throughout this movie, and they never really explain it. But every outfit, she has that matching string. That's like the perfectly matching string to the dress she's wearing. I don't know why, but I think that's cool. And like one time they even show her a scene of her tying it on, and so like it's important. But it's just, I love the colors. I love the leather jacket. I love hats, which will be a pattern that you will see. So anytime there's a hat, I just remember she just looks cool. Period. So maybe that's the bias. I looked up the costume designers. It said Tanine Autre and Jacques Cotin, though I did also see online that specifically her outfits, a lot of them were Yves Saint Laurent, or Laurent, and So I think that might be the case. Though that wasn't the credit on the Blu-ray, but she's just a cool lady. I love the colors. I just love her. And yeah, so give me a leather jacket and yeah, this little string. Yeah, she's cool.
The string is hilarious. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to
And
have
it's like it's not just a random string. It's like she changes it. She has to string like the matching material. I don't know why, and it just seems like it's a character decision and important, but it's cool. I would not. I'll do it. She does it.
Yeah. This is a great choice. And honestly, shout out to the 70s. The fashion of the 70s is just so compelling and unique and iconic. I mean, it's one of those
Everybody in this movie dresses cool. Like the men, they have the vests, they have the cool colors and patterns. Yeah, everyone dresses in this movie cool. It's a good movie too. If you just like, I'm not always partial to crime thrillers, so when one clicks with me, I get extra excited because it's not a genre that always works for me. And this one is very good thriller. Where actually, like, it's a gang of bank robbers, but you actually get to know each one. They're not just like the nameless goons. I think it's really good.
Yeah. Looks good. Looks very good. My number 4 is by far, I believe, the most current of any of these choices, which is crazy to say after doing Banshees of Inisherin. That one is newer than that. This one is my first. Well, this one's kind of a cheat, but it's my first of 2 cheats for the night, and that's because it's technically 2 characters, but 1 actor, and that should give it away. It is 2025 Sinners with Michael B. Jordan. This is fucking gorgeous. Michael B. Jordan is like one of the hottest people in the world in this movie. First off, I get to cheat because I get 2 different styles from 2 different characters, 2 different hats, 2 different color options. This is a really great, just a complete closet to go through. I get the casual tank top look in the right. I really want to steal his muscles too, but I can't have that. I'll just be overweight as usual. But the big thing, the shout out to the late 80s, early 90s that we get in the mid-credits scene for this film is such a fun way to put a coda on this film that you didn't need to do. And yet when Coogler was like, you know what, we're going to put just a tiny little button on this film and bring you back and pull off this look, that sweater alone is so badass. This is such a beautiful movie. The style here is perfect for the times, and the way that they use this to tell the story of 2 different characters is such a unique attempt at using one person to play these things, because this could have been really confusing really quickly, but instead it on top of like the personality change that he does, this helps so much to tell this story. I fell in love with this movie the very first night. Absolutely astonishing choice here. Sinners, did you get to see Sinners this year?
I did. That was the one film all the hype and like Celeste Lacabra put out that video about it. It's like, okay, I gotta see it in theaters. Yeah, a fantastic choice. That the costumes in that were amazing. I love how it's essentially almost like a musical because the music is so prevalent and just the way it combines genres. I love everything about it. The only thing I didn't like is the very opening scene, how like they kind of like show you that the vampires are coming, like in the church. Like, I don't think that was needed. That's a real nitpick in a movie that you don't need to. But like, I would have gotten rid of that and just let that come as a total surprise. But beyond that, the costumes, that's one of the movies I thought of. Like, if you're talking about recent releases, and hats, that's great.
It's a great hat movie for sure.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about number 3, and here is your picture.
All right.
Speaking of hat.
Yeah, that is going to keep happening. This is from Spirits of the Dead, which was really weird because I was watching this for this, and then right after I watched it, I found out Terrence Stamp died. He is in this as well. It's an anthology film. So that was just really like kind of creepy, like, oh, that, but it's an anthology film. He is not in this segment. This segment, it's Jane Fonda and her brother, Peter Fonda, and they're playing cousins, and she's a countess with money, and these looks are amazing. Because I almost picked Barbarella, and then I realized that the costume designer is the same. Nice. It's Jacques Fonterey. I don't know. I feel like I did the lousiest job with the pictures for this one because I was just trying to get screenshots. But these outfits are incredible. They've got the big sleeves. I love medieval outfits, so I love this one. The black and white is like this huge coat, and she's always on horses in this movie. It's just cool hats, cool everything, and it's just like, if you like the Barbarella costumes, this one's also good. I mean, she does not play a nice lady in this one. And like, it's her and Peter Fonda, and the casting of it being her brother, and it's kind of this guy who like sporns her, even like romantic. It's kind of, even though they're cousins, it's the weird incesty. Besides the casting in real life, them being siblings, but the royal, because she's wealthy, you can get away with that. It's a weird movie. And like I said, Terrence Stamp has a famous segment in it too. And Tim Lucas wrote a book about it. If you're a fan, it doesn't really have a great, I don't think, Region 1 release. I know it has a Region 2 one. But yeah, and like I said, I almost picked Barbarella because I love in that film the astronaut uniform that looks like basically a silver puffer coat. But this designer, I would wear anything he does. It's all eccentric shapes, big, bold, silhouettes, and yeah, it's like a Robin Hood fantasy to wear these outfits. And even though I like nothing about being outdoors, but I love these outfits and the stripes and the patterns, and yeah, and it's Jane Fonda, so she pulls them off amazingly. Yeah.
These are unique looks, and that, I mean, the fact that they're that striking makes for a really great choice. I mean, the shoulders here, like you mentioned, really, really great, bold, like
there was
color
no
choices.
boring looks in here. There's some skippier looks, but there are no boring looks.
Yeah, this is a great choice. Yeah, I mean, you said Barbarella too, and that would have been a great one too.
Yeah.
I love that you went above and beyond and are naming the costume designer. I am failing here. I should have done the same. Apologies to those that deserve the respect. This next one is another one that kind of immediately came to mind, and I love that as I was thinking about this, pretty much all of my choices are fairly modern picks, but they're also mostly period pieces, including this one, which is a really, to me at least, obvious choice for a male character. And that is not a filmmaker that I worship like many, but Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I got to go with Rick Dalton because, man, first off, I get tons of options. He plays so many characters. He's got all these iconic shots, iconic looks, really great loungewear in the pool here. He pulls all this off. The robe even is super comfy.
Yeah.
But man, you have looks for days. You have literally as professional as you want to be, as relaxing as you want to be. You can jump out of a truck like he's doing in the top left. Like, there are so many shots in this movie that are like literally iconic just because it's Leo making a silly face wearing like a really nice outfit. And so this is one of the first things I thought of. I mean, I don't even have the meme shot of him pointing at the TV, but this one is it's just so many of Tarantino's films are iconic for at least one character and how they look through the entire thing. And this, I mean, I could have picked Cliff Booth for this movie. I could have picked 5 other Tarantino movies just for the way that they wardrobe one person. But I feel like Rick Dalton is kind of the pinnacle for this, especially if you're stealing their entire wardrobe, just because of the options. I have everything that I could ever need here. It's so fun. Have you seen this one? What do you think?
I have
of this
not
one?
seen that one yet. I don't know how I haven't seen it yet. I sometimes get creeped out by the Charles Manson stories. I know like some people, I know it's not true crime, but overall, I'm not a true crime person. So that story, like, it gets repeated a lot. It's not my favorite thing to follow up on, but it's still, I know I will watch it one day. I can certainly agree with these looks. The robe is cool. I love the yellow turtleneck with the blazer, the jacket. Yeah, you will definitely not have an outfit for every occasion with this wardrobe.
Yeah, lots of options no matter what you're choosing from. Fun movie. I hope everybody has checked that out eventually. Are we at number 2 now or
Yeah.
2? Jeez, already.
I know.
All right. Whoa, vibrant colors. I love it.
This is Liz Taylor. I know.
Oh yeah.
With Liz Taylor, you have a lot of options, and I should have probably picked like Cleopatra or Boom, where she has the amazing. If you've ever seen her in the flower headdresses, that's Boom. Amazing. But I picked X, Y, and Z, a movie nobody talks about with Elizabeth Taylor, because it's hats. It's a movie that Twilight Time put out, and even though Twilight Time's pretty much debunked, you can still get this one on Screen Archives when they have their sales, and I love it. It's Elizabeth Taylor, Susanna York, and Michael Caine in a love triangle. Elizabeth Taylor does not take the fact that Michael Caine is having an affair with Susanna York well, as Elizabeth Taylor does, and she is just, I love her 70s looks in general. Like, I could have picked Identikit, which is or sometimes it's called The Drivers something. It has multiple titles. Severin released it in the States. BFI released it in the UK. That's another great 70s film where she just wears all these patterns. I love Liz Taylor. This is not her most expensive wardrobe, but it's just fun. It's colorful. It's got hats up the galore. It's got her. Yeah, that one. Great movie. I don't know if you've watched that one. Fantastic.
I have, yeah. Fantastic.
It's really, I mean, it's bonkers, but 70s Liz is probably my favorite. But yeah, she just wears all these, it's like the big bows. It's got color. It's, and she just, I just love her. And this is the film. It's not her. Like I said, if I'd picked Cleopatra, I'd have much more expensive gowns. And I found out, but yeah, I went for this one. This is what I would wear in daily life if I could. I would happily raid her closet. And I found out the costume designer is Brenda Dawson, who was a name I was not familiar with at all. But she also did the costumes for Pandora and the Flying Dutchman, which is a fantastic movie with Ava Gardner. So another easy person to dress and naturally gorgeous. She has a black dress and cutouts in that one. It just was like, I wouldn't have connected the two movies because that's, I want to say 50s or 40s. And this is 70s. Like, I wouldn't have connected that it was the same designer. But, and like I said, I've never heard her name come up before, but she's great. And yeah, she's got the vest. I'm basically love 70s fashions, and you get every color of the rainbow here. Yeah, and it's just Liz's personality. So yeah, I just picked cool women who I want to mimic in real life and be just as loud. I'm not a loud person, but I would happily take after Liz a little bit and just go for it.
Not only is Liz loud, but she lets it show in her hair in this too.
Yeah, the great curls. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, this is a great choice. She's somebody that, I mean, anything visually with her has become iconic. And I love the shout out to Cleopatra. And even if I don't want to wear them, I can like pawn them and make a shit ton of money.
And Boom is even better, because Boom is when she has like the flower headdresses, and it's her and Noel Coward and one of her. It's just extravagant, which is just pure Liz in real life and on camera. So yeah, I did not pick one of her extravagant ones, but yeah, you can't go wrong with a Liz Taylor movie.
No, you did great. Really great choice there. So I picked Michael B. Jordan, and I had to go immediately went to the other most beautiful man in the world, lately at least, and that's Ryan Gosling. And for him, I feel like most people immediately say, well, you got to go with Drive. You know, he got that beautiful, iconic jacket. But for me, that is not the one that I go to, especially after it's gotten attention the last year with a nice, beautiful physical media release. I had to go with what he looks like in The Nice Guys. Incredibly tailored suits, really great shirts that he's got in multiple scenes here. Really great mustache that goes with it. Not a part of the wardrobe, just kind of hitting on him, I guess. But beautiful ties. That's one of the things I wanted to point out here. Ties are something that we've lost the artistry of a lot of the times. Yeah. It's just a single color, not pattern or anything like that. But the ties in this movie, because of the time period that it's set in, are like inherently ornate through every single thread choice. Just a beautiful, like literally Russell Crowe would have been a good choice for this movie as well. But Ryan Gosling just pulls off every single thing he touches here, even though he's wearing a cast for half the movie. But yeah, beautiful movie. I think that he looks incredible in this. I think that if I could theoretically fit a suit the way that the suit fits him, man, I would be set. But that will literally never happen in my life. Love this. I would love to have this wardrobe. Great shirts. Yeah, The Nice Guys. Love this movie. Have you seen The Nice Guys yet?
I've only heard good things about it, but I have not seen it yet. I love this wardrobe. I just love glasses at that time, how big the lenses were. It's like, we need to go back to that. Nothing is cooler than a huge pair of sunglasses. The bigger, the better. Yeah, I've only heard good things about this movie, but no, I have not seen it yet. And I can see why you chose it 100%.
Shout out to Ronnie, who's looking up some of the costume designers that I never did. You're very helpful. Kim Barrett is the Nice Guys costume designer. Appreciate that. This is a great choice. Yeah, all right. There is the Nice Guys. And now that means we are at the apex of your list, all the way up at number 1. The number 1 choice is... Okay.
Okay, this is Jean Simmons, who is another actress I adore. And this is a little movie called The Grass is Greener. All-star cast. It's directed by Stanley Donen, who did Charade and tons of other classics. It's not one people talk about, but it's Cary Grant, it's Deborah Kerr, it's Jean Simmons, and Robert Mitchum, and it's basically another love triangle movie. Mitchum versus Cary Grant. At one point, they have a literal duel. They do like the pillow talk split screen thing. And it's nice. It's just a fun, silly movie. Good dialogue. Basically, Cary Grant is this rich guy who lives in one of those British homes that he actually makes money off of by making it a museum because it's that kind of old home. And and Deborah Kerr has to choose between him and Robert Mitchum, which is a dream situation to be in. But Jean Simmons is my favorite character. She's kind of like why they just wanted to make it 4 people, and they just threw her in, and why not? And I love her outfits in this movie. I think they are supposed to be I think her outfits specifically were Christian Dior, and I love the colors. I love at one point that little in the orange outfit in the top right corner. That's an earring that she took off a clip-on earring that she took off her ear and randomly puts in her hair in one scene. So it's versatile. The outfit I particularly love is this orange. It's a dress, but then she has matching leggings or pants. I think that's awesome. I love the patterns. I love the colors. I love that she has a random headband, and then like the way she sits in chairs is constantly like draping the coat behind her. It's just constantly showing off the outfit. I just think she's fantastic. I love these clothes. I want that pants dress. There should be more pants dresses. You need both. But why not? Why have one when you can have both? I think she's wonderful. Also, I was realizing that all my movies have blue eyeshadow, which is a 70s thing. So I guess that's something that I also just picked color films because I just like color, even though there's some great black and white movie costume designers, but I guess just the ones that stay in my memory or the color ones even. But I adore this outfit. It's always the first one that comes to mind. I know it's a deep cut title. It's Olive Films released it. It's not a great release. It has no subtitles. I don't think it has any bonus features. I wish somebody else
Olive.
But I wish somebody would re-release it. Because Olive did do occasionally, they did Right by Johnny Guitar and Hair, but they did not do Right by this one. But I don't know that it's a popular or well-liked enough title that it's ever going to come out better. But it's a fun movie. It's ridiculous. It's all British properness and versus the American, basically British proper Cary Grant versus American Robert Mitchum, and they play with that dynamic, and it's a fun movie. Jean Simmons is delightful and just gets to be delightful. Like I said, her character's kind of, why is she there? Because why not? But I love these outfits.
We got some people in the chat asking if you have seen the film The Love Witch.
I have heard of the film. The Anne Biller, or is that her name? The director. I love the photos I've seen from it. I have not seen it yet, but the aesthetic, 100%, because that's I know she took a lot from classic, or not classic, but the Jean Rollin and all the great 70s. So I definitely.
Anna Biller from 2016.
Okay, I think I almost got her name right. I created some combination, but I have heard of it, and I know it's supposed to be good.
I feel like the aesthetic of that definitely fits the choices that you're making. But this is a great choice. The floral print on here is beautiful. Long, flowy. The head wrap that she has, and that I don't know what do you call this, because it's like a necklace just draped over her hair. It's just like I said, it's literally, and clip-on earrings. As someone who doesn't have her ears pierced, I love that. I think that would be great to have an actual cool. And she just randomly in a scene, she's drinking a cocktail, and then she just
takes it off her ear and puts it in her hair. I think that's ingenious, and I don't know if that was something she came up with on the spot. It's Gene Simmons. She's awesome.
Yeah, she very well may have.
Yeah, if you want to see another great movie with her, Angel Face, she plays much more. That's a noir, and she plays a much more crazy character. And again with Mitchum, though, any movie if you can see with her, I highly recommend it.
And Mitchum, because he's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you brought up this topic, there was one thing that I thought of immediately that I said this is going to be my number one. I'm not even going to have to think of it. This is going to be the last thing that I cover. And the reason I'm going to cover this is because this is my actual cheat for tonight. So I said Michael B. Jordan was like a half a cheat because he's one person playing two characters. This is kind of a cheat because it's a wardrobe for myself, but also for my wife, who's my best friend. And the thing that I've always seen for the two of us, and my choice is that we have to have everything. And I've looked this up, Ronnie, so you don't have to, that Ruth Myers did in 1991's The Addams Family. I think this is the definition of romance. This is the definition of style. This is like the definition of sexiness. This is the definition of a love that I have always wanted to have for my wife. And I think this is just some of the most beautiful, put together, perfectly matching couples in cinematic history, played just absolutely perfectly by Angelica Houston and Raul Julia here. Just incredible imagery, iconic, beautiful shots in this film. Absolutely love it. Will is making me laugh by texting me and saying he thought he was my best friend. I love you too, Will. Yeah, this I don't know. I think that this is something that I've always strived. Is that a word? Striven?
Yeah.
Strived.
Yeah. Strive is good.
I'm making up 19 words to say it. But for me and my wife, I mean, I think this is like the definition of a true romance that we don't get a lot of. This movie didn't shy away from like this husband is passionate about his wife. The wife is equally passionate about the husband in more than just a hypersexualized way. It's absolutely like there is chemistry in a partnership here that reaches further than that, and something about this wardrobe like perfectly complements it. When he's in a robe and comfortable, she's still in like the gothic everything that you want, but also dressed down in a way that she's comfortable sitting at home. The pinstripe suit, iconic. The like velvet overcoats that they wear here, it's just astonishing. This is one of those movies that immediately when I was a child and saw this for the first time, just went, goddamn, like dress me up like that and I am set for the rest of my life. Love the Addams Family. I love this relationship, and this is what I want in my life, and want my kids to be able to see, that their parents love each other like Morticia and Gomez.
I think that's beautiful, and you would totally rock those suits, especially especially the velvet one. I think the velvet one might be my favorite, though the pinstripe is the most iconic. But yeah, that's a fantastic choice. I actually didn't grow up with, like, I watched them as an adult and they're great. But I like grew up with more the Carolyn Jones, like the TV show. Like I watched TV Land all the time. That was where made you really popular in school. But that's what. But I didn't see it until I was an adult. And yeah, those are beautiful costumes. They're classic Gothic. Yeah, I hope that you and your wife get to wear outfits that comes in your. Yeah, any of the disconnected fans just happen to have that sitting around in their closet and to get rid of. I think that would be cool.
It would be cool, man. This has been such a fun topic. Did you have any that you were choosing between that were like vetoed or cast aside that were almost in your mind?
Well, I feel like I wanted to pick something by Travis Banton, who was like one of my favorite designers. He designed a ton of Marlene Dietrich's iconic looks, but I couldn't figure out like what the exact, like I had all the images in my head, but like what's the movie, what's the role? I would have to really, what a crime that would have been to really watch and figure out which movie specifically. I mean, Scarlet Empress has the big like Russian big hats, but like, am I going to wear that walk down the street? Probably not. To be practical with it. So I feel like I should have picked something from him. and just a black and white, because there's some beautiful black and white films. It just didn't stick in my head as much. But yeah, no, I like I said, I tried to think of something that more people might know the movies, but that didn't work out.
That's not important for a topic like this. You did great picking iconic shots. Mine was incredibly basic, so I took care of that for you. But
they're not basic, and yeah, the Michael Jordan one, yeah, I would 100%. If I was thinking of a modern movie that I walked away saying, "Wow, those costumes are amazing," that would be the one. And yeah, the Addams Family, yeah, those are like I wouldn't even think of those movies because they're just like so iconic and like you don't. It's like you just take them for granted and then you look at them and everybody copies them now. It's like literally. I mean, we got Wednesday TV show, but they just set a standard for what Gothic, what it means. Like Hot Topic wouldn't exist without the Addams Family movies.
That's true. That is true. Well, this has been just a fantastic topic. I love that this is something that nobody could have even like thrown out a guess at what either one of us are going to be picking. So I mean, that made it fun, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You have been an incredible guest. You bring a very different flavor than what I have, so that's been helpful. Tell the people what are you writing about? What's coming up? Tell them what's in the Physical Media Advocate for September.
Okay. Spoiler. I am doing, it's a kind of a double whammy. I found a film that covers two actresses who are both born in September. It's Greta Garbo, who we talked about today, and Anne Bancroft. They were born, I mean, not the same year, but they were born the 17th and the 18th. I forget which one was which. And the movie is Garbo Talks, which Kino released at the end of last year. And it's a really good movie. Anne Bancroft, I mean, it's a sad movie. She's dying in it, and her dream is to meet Greta Garbo, who, when the movie came out, was still alive at the time. So she tells her son, who they live in New York City, and they know that Greta Garbo lives somewhere in New York City, but she makes it like her dying wish, hey, find her for me, and that's what he attempts to do. And it's just like a lovely movie that gets into like the whole fandom as like a movie fan. I feel like it beautifully captures it and doesn't like make her eccentric. It's just the passion and like the attachment you can feel to a star. Like she just adores Garbo. She has all the photos everywhere. At one point they go into a bookstore and it's just like, I wanted every book on the shelf. Like I wish you could walk into a bookstore today and see, it was like just a section of movie biographies that is like, I would have no money. It just is a really fun as a film fan. It's a film fan about film fans. It's just, and it really, Garbo doesn't actually appear in it. I won't say whether she does get to meet her or not. If she does get to meet her, it's not Garbo playing herself. But it just really celebrates her. Anne Bancroft gives a show-stopping performance in it. She gets this monologue towards the end. That they just really let her show what a great actress she was. And so that's a spoiler, but it's mostly about Greta Garbo. Garbo Talks. I also talk about my favorite Garbo movie and my favorite Anne Bancroft movie. I won't spoil those two, but yeah, I highly recommend that movie if you haven't seen it. It's Kino Release is great too because it has a commentary with Howard Berger. And I forget if it was Steve Mitchell and Sandra Thompson. I'm sorry. I know they worked together, but it was one of them. And it was a really good commentary on top of it because they tend to do like, I mean, Howard can talk about anything and both of them can talk about anything, but they tend to do like the French thrillers and this was not a thriller. It's a Sidney Lumet film. And it's not one of the ones like they talked about. Howard said he actually got to talk to Sidney Lumet, and it's not one like it's like he shook his head when he brought up Garbo Talks. It's not one I guess that he held in the highest esteem or like was like one that he wanted to talk about. But I think it's great, and yeah, I remember I watched it ahead of because like I tried to sometimes be economically smart, and I saw it was streaming Garbo Talks, so I was trying to get myself from not needing the Blu-ray by watching it on, and then I ended up getting the Blu-ray anyway. Because I just thought it was a movie I'd want to rewatch, and yeah, it's Kino released it. It's really good, and those are my double whammy birthday celebration for September.
It's a good choice. The commentary is with Steve Mitchell. I just checked.
Okay.
Howard, I don't know. He can talk with anybody about any movie. He's got this uncanny ability, so it's kind of impossible to memorize which ones that he's done. So I get it. Again, I will echo all of the comments that are coming out saying that you've been a fantastic guest and that you got to come back. I hope this has been fun and comfortable, because I know that it's hard to step out and do something new like a live show.
But you make it as easy as it can be. It's been absolutely delightful to talk to you. Of course, I've talked to you online, but this is the first time verbally talking, and it's just been fantastic. Getting to be here was a thrill, because every guest that you have is wonderful, and this is what I love to talk about, but I don't always get to talk about it with somebody else who is as passionate about it and doesn't just look bored when you keep talking about it. So I just really thank you so much for having me, and I would love to come back anytime.
It's an honor. We will have you back again. Having your first time come on here and do a 3-hour and 15-minute show is an astonishing step in the right direction. So everybody go follow Rachel everywhere. Check up some of the work she's done. She's a great writer. She's been in the vast majority of the Physical Media Advocates, and absolutely somebody that you should be following. Great discourse on film, and I appreciate you. You're just great. Thank you.
Appreciate you and everything you do.
All right, everybody.
Magazine,
yeah.
I was just saying, what you do with the magazine every month, on putting it out regularly and putting up with us sending in things not as early as I always get in my head, like I'm going to send it in early this month, and it does not happen. But you were just wonderful. Oh, social media. Thank you. I have Blue Sky or Blue Ski, whatever you want to pronounce it. Ziggy Starlog. That's the main place I'm at, because all the other ones are pretty not great. But yeah, that's the main social media that I do.
I've got your Facebook linked below. I'll add a link to the Blue Sky. But yeah, I've tagged you on Instagram, but you're never on there anymore.
No, because it's all photos, and I just don't take photos too often. So. Yeah,
if I wasn't posting pictures of physical media, I wouldn't have anything on Instagram either. You're incredible. Everybody go follow her. Look up her writing. Rachel, thank you. We'll talk again soon. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share it with someone else that may appreciate this.